else hasn't eaten today?
I ate today. I need dinner.
For
Yeah,
dinner.
I ate today.
Why is Jenna ready to square up?
I don't
I'm
know.
always ready.
She's
Like,
always ready to
yeah.
fight somebody. And speaking of fighting somebody, welcome back,
I never get a chance.
Woo!
I am too small and too emotional to be this ready to fight people all the time.
Yeah, but you're a fire sign, aren't you?
Yep.
There it is.
Nope. There it is.
I will throw down, and I might not win
We
that
know.
fight. But you're gonna be hurting after the fact.
I believe the term used is perpetual state of knife fight.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Are you
That's
okay up there?
it.
I just heard a lot of crashing. Are you okay up there?
Oh, one of the bowl slid out from underneath the air. I'm putting things in the sink, and one of the things slid out, so the other things tapped against the side.
I'm fine. This stuff is dumb.
Gotcha. All right. Welcome back, everybody.
Tetris.
Last we left off with the Mystic Mechanicus, we had made our way to the forest village of Edmay, where upon entering, our heroes entered the Starlight Tavern. We were reacquainted with some familiar faces. Sephi, behind the bar, running the place. Eventually, Zakaria walks in, and we have a bit of a moment with the professor. This, of course, coming on the heels of Moonhaven, where more information was revealed through some books that you received from the sewers, some discussions along the way. But here we are, back in Moonhaven. You have arrived here to see Sepka about translating a scroll that the professor has had on his person for quite a while. But as we left our heroes, we were starting to get ourselves settled in, a little bit comfortable here in the Starlight Tavern. And Zakaria and Professor were about to have a little bit of a reuniting. So I will bring you back to Edme and Professor Z, if you have anything you would like to say to each other.
Speak now or
Oh, we're gonna play
forever.
that out.
Oh, you can if you want, or we don't have
Or
to.
for
Yes.
No, I thought we were all just gonna all sit down and you guys were like catching Z up on everything that you had done.
We can do that, and you can key us.
Well, after the catching up, Professor will
I wanted to hear the
Well-
professor
well-
catch up with Z.
will ask to go for a walk or find somewhere to sort of have a chat one-on-one and give more of a personal account of what's been happening so far and what he's dealing with the arcane corruption and what they're chasing after, like the personal side of it, rather than here's the Cole's notes of everything we've done over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. And I think Z would kind of as well say, oh, do you want to come see the brewery? I've made some updates and some changes. I could come show you that while you catch me up on everything you've learned since you last left.
Sure. I see from the menu that you've spruced up the offerings. I'd love to see how you make them.
Absolutely, I'd love to show you.
Rom-com music
And-
plays.
Z will show the professor to her brewery so that they can chit-chat, catch up, things about everything that's happening and going on.
On the way out, you see Sephi mentions, you guys are welcome to stay here the night. We have rooms and everything, and I know there's a room at the brewery, Professor, if you feel like staying there. She gives Z a little bit of a smirk.
Z sighs, rolls her eyes, looks at the professor and says, she was way easier to deal with when she didn't understand what anything meant. She was way easier when innuendos went over her head and she didn't understand things.
You knew her as a child.
Sort of. Younger, for sure. Younger, more innocent Sephi. One that doesn't pry in other people's business.
Huh?
As she kind of like shoves Professor out the door, like,
Or
stop talking to him.
So Z leads Professor off to the brewery. It's right across the path from where the Starlight Tavern is. You can see it on the map. It's not very far away. But she brings you into her brewery, which looks a little bit like this.
Ooh.
Z, I don't know if you want to give it a quick description if you have
Yeah,
one ready.
sure, absolutely. So you walk into Z's brewery, and instantly you are hit with the smell of like cedar and just like wood and just that earthy sort of all-encompassing, comfortable smell. You could swear that you hear slight music playing, but when you focus on it, it's gone. Uh, so not really sure what that's about, but maybe some Fae bullshit from Lorelei to give a little ambiance. As you walk in the back, you'll see shelves and shelves and shelves of different types of ingredients. You see on one of the counters a little bit of a little bit of kind of like a almost a mad scientist's workshop. There's beakers and there's measuring cups and everything is kind of strewn about. And she kind of chuckles and says, "How I've been experimenting, learning things of my own as well. I guess you could say."
This is really impressive. You've been doing all this on your own. There's no partners, no teachers. Where did you learn to brew?
Oh, I learned from the best. I learned from Edward. Ironhammer Ale is still one of the most well sold beers in the region. And, while traveling around with Edward and the other Thorns, we would talk not only then, but when before I met the Thorns. It was really just, me and Edward. He had kind of been my first friend. And we would hang out at the monastery, and he would teach me, about how to balance the proper beer, how to add ingredients just enough, but not too much to overpower, how to blend flavors and make sure that everything has this robust taste, but not too much. And it's very sciencey and complicated, but also with your heart. Big things with your heart and with what you feel. Yeah, so he taught me pretty much everything he knows, or he knew. He's no longer here. He's here, and she kind of just gestures around the brewery like his spirit is here. He's here. He's just not here. And she like points to like the ground, like here on Earth. He did pass, but not without telling me all of these amazing things. So as far as he's concerned, he kind of lives through everything I make, every beer I make. God, I just had a fucking police song in my head. Anyway, he just, so he kind of just, taught me how to do all this stuff, and I do this to, honor his memory and to honor people that mean a lot to me and people who have, really touched my heart. And yeah.
Professor kind of chuckles at all of that as he's kind of wandering close to her chemistry set and kind of leaning down and looking into like the tubes and the flasks and all of the different instruments. And he's like, yes, Edward. I have to say, I've never met anyone who's really close to him in real life. He's got a bit of a name for himself in the afterlife. He's one of the very few mortals who doesn't seem to know how to stay in his own afterlife. He kind of looks up and smirks and says his reputation precedes him here.
That's Edward. He and you see like on the table, you just see like pages of paper and parchment, and she's like has like words written crossed out rewritten, crossed out. As you can see, she's trying to like come up with the names for her beers, and you see like one says like launch your wisdom crossed out. Um, you know, she's got like all these things like crossed out, like all these like circles and like notes in the edges, and she says it's important to me to be here and to honor people in this way. I've never really had something that I've really been good at other than fighting before, and being here, being with Sephi and the kids and Sepka, and it's like meeting Brother Edward really kind of gave me this new life. I mean, I had to fight for it a lot, but um, it, it it's what you make of it, right?
He nods and says, "It's easy to tell where your heart is. They say that nothing worth having isn't worth fighting for. I think that this is well earned. At least that's what it seems like to me." And he
Thank you.
gestures to the brewery. It's like, all of this. Not seen such care put into anything, really. Like, as much as I see it here.
Well, you've got to, if you care about something, you have to really put your all into it. You have to fight for it and take the time and the energy and the focus, and really think about the things that are important to you and the things that really matter. And she'll kind of like give him a glance under her lashes and then go back to cleaning.
He catches that and smiles a bit and lowers his gaze, and he says, "I've been thinking a lot of that lately. What's important and what matters to me. It seems that that's not the sort of thing that lends itself to easy consideration."
If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing, right?
That's what I'm told. Although I'd very much like it more if it was.
She smiles and says, "We all would, but an easy life isn't always a life best lived. You gotta have the ups with the downs, and sometimes it sucks a bit, and you just gotta power through, and don't kind of let yourself get stuck, and really kind of just appreciate the things you have, and when you don't have those things, remember them fondly, and think of the next time they may make their way back to you."
He nods, and there's just like a small pang of sadness over his face as he considers that this reunion will be fleeting and that he will have to leave again sooner rather than later. And as much as he'd really like to stay here and just wash away all of the stresses of a world at the precipice, ready to fall to the void, and just settle into a place like this where he can focus on friends and relationships and settling and just being somewhere that's comfortable, he knows that every step that he takes away from this place is going to be a heavy one, burdened with responsibility and fear and anguish, but he knows that it's necessary. And he just sort of straightens up and takes a big breath and says, "Right, well, shall I fill you in a little bit on my side of the story?"
I would love that. Z stops her nervous fiddling. Now she has something to listen to and to really pay attention to, and kind of focus on, as opposed to her feels. And she will kind of jump up on the bar, sit there, and just kind of say, "Hey, what's going on? Tell me things."
He'll kind of gesture over to the little bar area with the stools and kind of pull one out for her to sit before he sits next to her. And he will fill her in on what's been going on from his perspective. The draw to learning about the void and mastering its techniques, to the arcane corruption, and what happened with when he tried to burn the page, about Jeffrey, and about his new almost obsession more than dedication to finding a viable way to cleanse people of the void's corruption.
Z will listen intently. It's almost as if Sephi were there, or Sepka, they would see the little flash of the focus of the old Z, of Adventurer Z. Not this cute little settled in version. You see the focus in her eyes as she's listening to everything you're saying. And this is kind of the Z that you've seen, like when you guys talk about any sort of phenomenons or research or anything that you're trying to figure out. She's just laser focused, and trying to remember everything that she has experienced going through adventuring, to see if there's anything that she might be able to come up with to help. And she's going to say, that sounds like a lot. Are you sure it's the void that's doing these dangerous? I don't know the correct word, but these disruptive things. Are you sure it's void? I mean, humans in and of themselves are dangerous and volatile and need no magic to cause awful things to happen. You see a little pang of sadness on her face as she says that, but it's quickly erased to her focus of trying to rationalize this out and see, could the void just be enhancing what they want to do, whether it's good or bad?
That's what we're out here trying to figure out. We don't exactly know the nature of it, whether the void in itself is I don't want to anthropomorphize it, but trying to change and corrupt the world around us, or if it's simply the means to an end that people are using to get to what they want. But we do have undisputable evidence that whether or not it's wielded in malice or good, it does affect the world around it, and I'm a prime example of that.
Right.
This, as much as I hate the word corruption for this, the arcane corruption that it causes, like, weakens my hold on the weave. And his voice kind of trails off as his mind kind of comes back to his incident with Jeffrey and how he no longer has any spells. And he's like, or at least it did. Weaken my control of the weave.
Well, maybe the only person that I would think of that would know anything about other galaxies or other things, I definitely think that Sepka would be able to help for sure. So I think you guys were very wise in coming here to see Sepka. Like Sephi said, he's out right now, but you're welcome to go find him, or you could wait here for him. It's up to you. It sounds like it might be a little bit of an urgent matter, though, if your connection to the weave has been disrupted.
He nods and he says, the team, myself included, that's Sepka's the main reason why, well, not the main reason why everybody's come here. He's able to look over something that no one else can. Although I'm really happy that we did come here. Or going anywhere else for obvious reasons. He kind of smiles and gets up and says, but maybe we shouldn't keep them waiting too long.
Of course. Oh my gosh, of course. Absolutely. Yeah, let's get you back with them so you guys can get on whatever you guys want to do. If you want to go now or stay, it's completely up to you. Um, it's your decision. Come on, let's get you back.
Let's get the business and taken care of first, and that'll leave us some more time to focus on catching up.
Sure. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Z was like starting to walk with you out of the tavern. She stopped and she's, I'm gonna forget if I don't do this now. And she scurries over to the bar where she serves everybody all of the amazing beverages, and she kind of goes rummaging behind papers, and it's just a little chaotic. And she pulls out this green book, this handmade green book, and it's got a picture of a tree on the front of it. It's kind of the symbol of Z's brewery, and she'll say, "Well, you lost your book, so here's another one for you. Don't worry now. Okay, let's go. Bye." And she's like, she's gonna kind of hurry him along.
He'll like take it, and then as she's like hurrying, he like casually tries to like peek into the pages as he's like moving out of the brewery and back to the tavern, and he'll like slide it into one of his jacket pockets for later perusal. Perusal.
I think it's perusal.
Perusal.
And Dee will walk with the professor, talking just about nonsense, on their way back to the tavern.
All right. Very cool. So, taking a few steps back as Z and Professor first leave the Starlight Tavern to go off to the brewery, Steffi kind of eyes the door as they leave, and she kind of wrinkles her nose a bit. She looks around y'all. She says, "Oh, it looks like it's getting dark. Sepka typically doesn't travel in from the forest after dark, so he might be staying out there tonight. So if you guys want, you can stay here. He might be back in the morning, I think. He's already been gone a couple of days, so he shouldn't be gone much longer."
Oh, that's so nice of you. Do you get many people who travel through this way?
Oh, yeah, every once in a while, especially the Sentinels when they're coming to and from the Sentinel Citadel.
Oh, are there any of them here now?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they're lovely. We just didn't have the best time meeting them the first time around.
Well, I think a night here in the tavern would be good after traveling through yesterday. Narco will head up to see what the offerings are for food for dinner time.
Let's see. What do we got? For the menu tonight, we have a hearty vegetable stew. There is some roasted and barbecued chicken, as well as potatoes, and some other fixins along the side, salads and other sorts of grains. And there are some pastries that have been made in the kitchen as well, cinnamon rolls and croissants and biscuits and cupcakes, things of that sort.
Narco like scans down the list and she gets to the desserts, and then as she reads the list, her eyes kind of go wide, and she kind of like goes pale and looks incredibly like almost sick to her stomach for a moment. And she kind of like shakes a little bit. She says, Miss Sephi,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll take the full course for my companions here.
Sure.
And I would like to get one more from the desserts. What's What's like the biggest, best, tastiest cupcake you have?
Oh, well, there's this one here that Sepka likes to make a lot. It's pink sugar. It's like a pink, like moist cake. It's big ass cupcake. It's like a pink moist cake, and it's got like the like strawberry frosting on top, and like little like slices of strawberry kind of stuck in the frosting.
I'll need that as well, please.
She kind of tips her head. She goes, "Are you all right?" And you see Rory and Cassie kind of start coming up to the bar. They coming up alongside you, and Rory kind of leans on the bar a little bit with a smirk, and she goes, "Something wrong? Mom's cooking's not that bad." Seppi goes, "Rory!"
Oh no, I'm sure it's delicious. I just realized I I broke a promise, and I need to make apologies immediately.
Oh, well, yeah. Seppi looks at you and says, "Well, you can help yourself. It's all, yeah, whatever you like."
Good. Narco will put down the gold for payment for food for everyone.
Seppi smiles. She slides it back. She goes, "I appreciate it, but it's okay. We got you covered."
That's very generous of you, but surely you operate this business with an intent to make some profit, right?
We do, yeah. Oh, we have a deal with the Sentinels.
Ah, government subsidies.
If you sure.
Well, we'll wait for the food, but I'll take this one back right away. She will pick up the pinkest, bubbliest cupcake that ever did exist. By God, and she's going to
Goodness
take it back
knows.
to the table. When she gets back, she'll let the group know. Well, I put in an order for dinner. Should be along here before too well. Jake, I got you this, and she sets down the cupcake. She says, "I am so sorry. I made promise that once we were done with all the business, with the void and the school, and the sewers, we were going to treat ourselves, and we were going to go to this really great cupcake place, and it has best cupcakes, dragon approved. It was we were gonna have a date. It was gonna be great, and then I screwed it up because I got too big into all the stuff we were doing, and then we need to go, and I'm sorry, and this is yours, and I'm sorry."
I think this. You don't need to apologise. I'm sorry if you felt the need to apologise about things. I didn't. I thought we needed to have that a lot was going on, and we didn't really have the time. Plans change. It's okay.
But I promised we would make the time, and we could have. We absolutely could have. We'd have gotten here a little later, but we could have taken an hour, and I didn't remember, and that's carelessness, and that's not caring, and that's like the opposite of being good and loving and stuff, and that just.
I think at that, Jane just reaches up and just lays her hands gently on Narcos, just to kind of.
Hang on, your audio's cutting in and out.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you did made it better.
I did nothing. So, okay. Is it okay, Nara?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Jade will just, as Narco is trying to apologize continuously, she's going to lay her hands gently on Narco's cheeks to get her to look at her. And she's just going to say, "Everybody forgets things sometimes. We've been doing a lot. We talked on the ship that now you can't do everything yourself. And this is one also a thing to it's not all on you, We've been through quite a bit in a very short amount of time, and I know you said we'd make time, and I know we probably could have made time, but would you have had a good time if we had made time?" No one was really happy when we left Moonhaven. I don't want our time together to be part of something that makes you unhappy. And look, this is great. Look at it's so pretty, and we're here together now, and we have time right now.
Okay.
Right?
I should still try to be better about that in the future.
We can all be better at lots of things. I think you're pretty great already, Noriko. You don't need to. You could just be you. Maybe one day, and we'll get there one day, where we're not chasing strange magic that we don't know what to do with, and people trying to kidnap our friends. It'll probably be a lot easier to remember cupcakes.
Yeah. I just want you to know that I'm sorry. And you can eat it now because you don't need to eat, so it's not like it'll spoil your appetite. It's just really tasty.
Let's check. Well, why not we share it?
Okay. Yeah. I
And
didn't get one for everyone. I'm sorry about that. They have good pastries here. And apparently we're eating for free. So if you want to try anything, I recommend you do so while the offer stands.
oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like a very good place.
Yeah, it's very, very peaceful.
I think we deserve a little bit of peaceful.
Well, I suddenly feel very, very tired. So I am going to sit here and I'm going to nibble on half of a cupcake.
Yeah.
Red just leaves
No,
things for Rebels. Sorry.
Ren has learned that there are pastries available. This is critical information.
That is, yeah.
There might be apples with them, okay? We have a plan.
Probably is.
Yep. Narco will, with one hand, eat bits of her cupcake before dinner comes, and with the other hand, hold Jade's hand under the table.
Yep. Jade will definitely hold her hand and enjoy the cupcake with Nariko.
Before long, Sephi employs Cassie and Rory to bring over your food and drink, and sure enough, Ren, your nose, lack of a nose, your sense of smell that you somehow have in a skull, definitely leads you over to the pastry section where there are some apple turnovers.
Happy red noises.
Meanwhile, speaking of, Ren or Yuki, are anything that you guys wish to do during this time?
I'm doing it.
Ren is finding all the
Fucking
apple
doing it,
pastries,
man.
finding all the apple pastries and making them disappear.
Yes.
I think Yuki is just kind of soaking up the ambiance of the Starlight Tavern. She's just kind of watching her friends settle in. She's at peace for the moment, not trying to think of good and evil and corruption or not corruption, and she's trying to keep her little head from spinning, and just kind of focusing on the now and the good and the happy, with her friends not currently being in danger. I think she's just soaking up the ambiance and the moments in the Starlight Tavern.
Wonderful. All right. So it isn't much longer at this point before Z and Professor enter back into the tavern. Z, Professor, you see that dinner has been served, a nice spread laid out, and everyone seems to be coming together, enjoying this nice moment of respite you definitely see Jade and Nariko sharing a big ass, very pink cupcake.
Oh, there's food!
Oh,
Professor will
absolutely.
spend
Go ahead,
no
sorry.
time wasted rushing into. He kind of rushes past Z, grabs her by the hand, and tugs her along with him, and almost throws her into a seat at the table and plunks down next to her and just Goku's whatever food hits the table in front of him.
Z allows herself to be pulled along, laughing the whole time. Now that's a sight that I haven't seen in a long time. Glad to see that you still have your appetite, Professor.
People have to eat.
Yes, yes, they do. How about you guys? Are you enjoying your food? Is there anything we can get for you to make your time here even more wonderful?
I mean, this cupcake is delicious. Do you
Oh,
make them too? Or is it Safi? Do you make these?
oh, Sephi is the chef for sure. She makes all of the sweets. We say that it's just the way that she brings more sweetness into the world than her own cute little personality. Unfortunately, no, I do not cook or bake. That is the tavern's job. I just enjoy the fruits of their labor, to say. But spirits are my job, and I make all of the things liquid that you will enjoy here. And she kind of like, that was weird. That's okay. We're gonna power through it, and she's just gonna smile.
Sephi chimes in, but you are the brewmaster, and Sepka does help sometimes. And you see Ember kind of like curls around Sephi's neck and gives her like a nudge, and she says, "Oh, and Ember too." Meanwhile, Rory and Cassie go off to the corner. They begin to uh, play some music for you for dinner time, even though it's still very Cure cover band. Uh, um, so, uh, getting through dinner, you are served until you can be served no more. There's plenty to go around. The taps flow freely for whoever wishes to partake. Um, the night will kind of go on like that. So, is there anything that uh, you all would like to do? Do you want to have any fireside chats during dinner? Do you want to? Is there anything you want to do after dinner, or are you planning to just kind of relax for the rest of the night, turn in, and see what tomorrow brings?
I mean, I think I'm fine with yada yada it for my girls and just chilling out for the rest of the night.
I think Naruto does want to briefly touch base with Sicaria.
Jade wants to do that with Seppi as well.
Okay.
Or yeah, actually, Sephi might make more sense for what Naruto's thinking. But if she sees Jade going for Sephi, she might drift over to Sicaria instead.
Narco wants to go first. Go for it.
Okay.
We might have different questions, so.
Yeah. Naruto's going to go up towards Sephi and say, hello, Miss Sephi.
It's just Sephi.
Oh, okay. I had a question. So, when you were with the Thorns of the Black Rose, you set out on a grand adventure and fought terrible beasties and saved the world and did all that stuff that was in the book, right? That's
Uh-huh.
okay. And you wound up marrying this Sepka, right?
Yep, I did.
Did you do your special friend courting while on the adventure or afterwards?
It happened while we were fighting the Dreaming Dark and getting to Vaxis. It happened along the way, and yeah,
Oh,
that's when it happened.
okay. Don't really have a lot of experience in that realm, but was that difficult circumstances to make that work?
No. Well, I have to say it was Sepka that made the first move. Well, I guess you could say first move. He was the what? I guess you can say he started the courting, and I didn't realize it at first, but I he had a way about him that I really liked.
Huh. Okay. Um, so she pulled out her notes and starts going back to some of the notes she had been taking back when Yuki was first giving her advice. And she was like, "So it was a state of mutual admiration and camaraderie uh, that one of you took the initiative to propose an upgrade in the arrangements, which was found agreeable, and over time the situation was found to be stable and productive. Is that the general course of events?"
Um, it sounds really technical, but I guess.
Okay, good, good. Always have to have another data point in support of a hypothesis. Um, okay. If you were to find any other young lady who was attempting something similar, any particular advice you would suggest for them?
She frowns a bit, she wrinkles her nose, and she looks up at you, Narco, and she says, just be yourself.
Marco writes it down. There's a lot of that going on today. She finds it immensely frustrating for reasons that she cannot identify.
So,
Okay.
Sepka and I didn't really have to do anything. We just were who we were, and we did what we liked, and we found that there was compatibility in that, and we hung out more together. We spent more time together. We talked a lot, and it just kind of progressed. We didn't really put too much thought into it.
Ah, I see where I may be having trouble. Uh, Lack of intentionality and lack of thought is not my strong suit. Okay. Um, well, I, I definitely have feedback that more space, creating moments for mutual being self works. Okay. Good data. Thank you for the interview. My apologies.
Interview.
Safi, have a good evening. And she will scurry away.
Okay.
They were not the same questions. So Jade will also, I think she'll talk with Z and with Seppi if the both of them are available.
Yeah, I mean, Sepsi's just by the bar.
Yeah, Z can go over and she'll get refills. That way she'll be over there.
So Jade will go to the bar when everybody else has settled down and is settling in for the evening, and sit down beside Zakaria and Seppi, and she's going to say, I'm slightly intimidated by the both of you. I have a lovely home, and you're great people, and I'm sorry if I start talking too much. If I start talking too much, you can tell me not to keep going on, but I had a question I wanted to ask you, or several questions I wanted to ask you, and I don't know if you can answer them, but I was hoping you might be able to at least try. Is that okay if I ask you questions?
Sephi
I think
puts a hand on your hand, Jade. And she
Z
says,
has
hello.
the other one.
Hi.
Sephi
Oh, it's Lord
says, you
Putney.
don't
Okay.
have to be so nervous. You don't have to keep apologizing for stuff that you haven't done yet.
Oh, yeah, I know. My papa says the same thing, and it's just a kind of a habit, and I don't really know how to stop that, and it seems to be the easier way to go.
You say things or ask questions however it's easiest for you.
Okay. So you guys both, you had a bunch of stories written about you,
Mhm.
and the things that you did, and all those stories are right. Yeah, they're correct. They're not lies. You all did those things. Like my papa says you did, and he would never lie to me. And the bard is usually very good about his depictions, although papa says sometimes they are exaggerated for the benefit of storytelling. But you did.
We did.
Okay.
Sephi scratches the back of her head and she says, I don't know if I've read all the stories, but the ones I've read get it mostly right.
Mhm.
Okay. So, but you did go bunches of times and fight things that were terrifying and scary and save the world. Yes, or
Mhm.
at least parts of the world.
Yes, we fought a lot of things that were scary, and some internal and some external.
You had an inside thing that was going to end the world.
Yeah, it could have.
Oh, that's terrifying. More in the way that I can't even imagine. I don't have any internal things that are probably going to end the world. I don't think, at least not yet. I haven't picked one up. Professor might, but it's more of a outside thing that we're dealing with. It's also inside, so it's kind of the same thing. Anyway, I guess my questions is, how did you be okay with that? We're having a bit. It's only been a few weeks. We've all known each other, and we are doing our best. But it seems like we are having a heck of a time trying to make everything okay, and not really. We don't really have a lot of time for us to be us the way we were when we first met, which is, I guess, I mean, you can't really do that when you're trying to save the world, and that's kind of on a timetable, I think, maybe. I mean, the world is pretty old, so I'm sure it'd be fine, but it's kind of just, how do you also have time to enjoy things and also go on dangerous things that might end badly? How did you do that? And I mean, you have kids now, and you are not at all what they wrote about you in the book, Miss Zakaria. You are definitely different, and I don't know, is that a thing that happened during your adventure or after your adventure, or is that just creative license to make you more non-verbal?
Z, and upon hearing that, she will laugh. She will just let
Oh, okay.
loose a melodic laugh. She'll say, "No, I was not like this. During that time, I was hurting, closed off. Um, I was going through a lot. But now I'm." She reaches over and puts a hand on Sephi's arm, and she's going to say, I'm home. I have a family. I have a place and people that love me and stability. And it's something that I didn't have then. I didn't understand what that was then, but now I understand.
Oh, okay. I'll have one of those. So
Yeah.
I'm good. That one. Yeah.
As far as your other questions, um, how did we make things okay? After
Yeah. I mean,
fighting the big scary thing, if
well,
I'm hearing you
not.
correctly.
I guess not really. After fighting it, it's
Hmm.
going to. But I mean, the stories all said that you been together for a real long time, and that you went on all these different adventures. And I mean, eventually, your last adventure, which is where the volume 2 ends on the last adventure. I think there's an appendix that came out sometimes about follow-ups, but I didn't get yours yet. It has not come to me, so I can only one person can have it at a time. So it takes a while, and then Papa usually writes it down so that I can have it forever. And then the other one goes away, and it's just yours hasn't come out yet. So I didn't know that this was a thing that you did. But no, it's more like so we are going. We had to go to a sewer. Okay, so we were in a sewer and we found some information out, and it wasn't. And then we decided we're going to go to the library and we're going to read the information that we found at the library. And then we sat down with the information at the library, and everyone got very upset because we're all different people and we've got different ideas about things, and then not enough answers to things, and then we were all upset. And it's I guess it's just, how do you make the time to make sure that we're doing more than just we're doing more than just fighting the bad guys or going off to fight the bad guys. Because we can't not fight the bad guys because then we wouldn't be who we are, and then who's going to fight them if not us? Because I guess you guys could because you could do that, but then you've got kids and things, and that would be bad to leave them, and you wouldn't want to take them because then the children would be outside fighting trees that come to life. So how did you make sure that it wasn't everything that you did?
Z
Because
will.
Norica's having a bad time, and I don't want her to feel like she's not doing enough. She does so much, and she's only one person, and she can't just do everything by herself. And then she gets upset when stuff goes bad, and I know that's just because she
You're
really
frailing
cares.
again.
Oh, I'm sorry, I do that. Anyway, yes. How did you?
Z
What do you
will walk around the bar.
Oh, hello.
So she is standing next to Jade. She will
Okay,
spin
that's
Jade around in her bar stool, and she'll kind of lean next to her,
really
and she'll
close to my
say,
face.
and she's gonna say, "That's how, right there,
I spin
right,
her chair.
right. What's happening?" And she points to everybody at the table, eating and laughing and talking about the food and just being with each other and being themselves. And insert photo montage of Professor trying to steal one of Ren's apples, and whatever, just them being themselves together at the table as they're eating. And she's going to say that's how enjoying these moments of respite, enjoying learning about each other and being there to support each other. You're a family now, whether you know it yet or not. You're a family. You take care of each other. Mm-hmm.
We're
Sure.
friends.
For now, sure you are.
Right.
But soon, friends may become more than friends, and her eyes will skate over the professor before she focuses back on Jade, and she'll say, "It's important to make sure that you take the time to laugh, to be present, to be not just a person who's going on an adventure with somebody else and just getting through this situation, but being with each other, having each other's backs. In those moments when you're in battle and you see one of your friends get hurt, or you do something to protect one of them, that feeling inside." And she'll
Panic?
No, below the panic, darling.
Okay,
That
I don't have any other feeling but panic, usually.
that feeling that you will do what you need to do to protect that person, to keep them safe. You see, darling, it's not about the battle. It's about keeping the ones you care about safe.
Right.
When you're traveling, it is important to take some time out for yourself. It can't always be about whatever evil you're chasing, otherwise you'll go crazy.
Oh my gosh, Sephi, do you remember all the shopping trips we had?
So I
And
should
all the
take
times that Lorelai went stealing.
Tips and the fish heads, come on. Those were amazing times.
I
So
think you
I
might be
should
remembering that differently.
It's about having those times.
take Noriko shopping?
You should all go shopping together.
For what?
Whatever, anything.
Okay.
Spend time together, not fighting.
Okay. So but basically we just have to make time to do things that are not focused on the fact that someone is trying to potentially destroy the world.
Right.
How do you do that when someone is actually trying to destroy the world? And we don't know when that will happen.
She's gonna look at Sephi and kind of look back at Jade and go, "Darling, someone is always trying to destroy the world."
Yeah, Papa says that too.
Because he is
Does
very
it?
smart.
Well, he's also really old, and I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna. All right, that's a good note. I'm gonna take that note. I'm gonna write it down, and I'm gonna. I'm gonna put that note in my notebook. Make the time. I will.
Sephi kind of looks at Z and she says, "These guys write a lot of notes."
Right?
Everyone's got a book, and you should write things down so you don't forget it.
Sometimes it's good to just experience things rather than always have to write something down in a book.
I mean, I don't write everything. I will write this, and probably about the cupcake because it was a really good cupcake, and I got to hold Nariko's hand the whole time, and that was very fun. And the boat ride was. I will probably not write about the boat ride. I might write about the boat ride. I will probably write the boat. Okay, I'll probably write the boat ride, and the. Okay, I will not write about. I will not write about something. Probably I've probably already forgotten because I didn't write it down.
Why don't you just enjoy the food and drink with your companions?
Oh yeah, yes, I will do that too. Okay. Thank you for your note.
Uh-huh.
She goes back down to sit next to Noriko. Noriko.
Oh.
Hi.
Naruto has finished writing up her next chapter in her ongoing thesis on what is love.
Yeah. It's about as in depth as Jade's is on how not to stress the fuck out. She's just gonna look. She's gonna look at Nariko and sit down next to her, and she's gonna say, "Hi, did you talk to Sephi?"
Yes,
Okay. Did you ask her a question?
I did.
Okay, I asked her a question, and the answer was not as helpful as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah, I got that too.
Oh, good. Okay, it wasn't just me. I was going to write her suggestion down, and then she said we write down things a lot, and then to take that to mean they don't write things down a lot. How are they supposed to remember?
I mean, I get the impression from the two of them that the Thorns of the Black Rose took things a little bit more carefree.
We're carefree.
There was a study on this on like different personality types and how there are folks who rely more on like feeling and intuition, and others who are much more like concrete. So maybe that's it. Maybe they just fall a bit on the other side of that personality matrix, which is fine. There's pros and cons to each.
Maybe. I mean, Zakaria did say to feel the feeling below the panic, and I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, and they said like to be myself, but they also don't like
to just take the time, and I'm like, but I'm trying to figure out how to take the time, and they just said take the time, and I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, and that's something I would do. That's being me, is writing down all their advice so that I can put it into practice. But then they were also advising that not to be so intentional, like not to overthink things. Maybe that's it. Maybe so.
Be not intentional.
Jade, when you're like going when you have that like ocean of panic happening, it's because you're thinking of a lot of things, right? Like a lot of stuff is on your mind and you can't put it out.
Sometimes it's that there is too many thoughts in my head that I can't really focus on a specific one. Most of the time it's because there's too much stuff happening and it's kind of overwhelming, and so everything happens all at once.
Yeah. Well, then that's something Yuki was trying to coach me with, was letting go of thoughts and kind of letting letting it be still, because it's kind of like you don't sleep,
No.
but I do because
Yes.
my brain is made of meat and it needs a period where it can like rest itself. But your brain, like, you never really stop having your brain move. Like, you might stop using your arm for like a day. I don't know why you would, but it's but sleep kind of helps me do that. Um, but I kind of, and that's where like dreams come in and such. But like, I
I
think
remember
like
dreams.
during the waking hours, need to do that too. Mm,
It's not bad advice. It's just strange advice. That
no,
doesn't
yeah, it's
really. It didn't give me a direction. I was hoping for, because they've already done this. Like they did this. They did this. They did this already, and so they should know how to do it.
mhm.
I don't want to say better because they did save the world, so that should, like, they did a great job. But it feels like they should be able to tell us how to do it for ourselves so that we don't have the problem.
Well, here's something. You know what we haven't done for a bit is have like we did that one night where we just stayed in the room together and we like swapped books and did some reading and we would like chat with each other about what we were discovering.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a few days, have we?
Yeah, why don't
Like, I think it was actually more like 2 weeks. We haven't done that.
why don't we why don't we do something like that? That's kind of that's an us thing because we both like the books and we both like learning.
Yeah,
And it's just nice because we're just being together, and it's fun because we could do that ourselves anyway, but having someone else there makes it nicer.
it does make it nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we need to intentionally make the time for us to have our nights together again.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Also, I'm supposed to take you shopping. All of us
Oh,
we're supposed to go shopping.
okay. I don't. Does they have like any stores of note? I've only ever really heard of like the the tavern and the brewery for exports. It's kind of more of a rural community.
It was more of like a general take the time to be together, doing things together thing, and shopping seemed to be one of the things that they said we should do.
Oh, I mean, I mean,
I asked them what we were supposed to shop for, and they said anything. So I guess
well,
uh,
well, I mean, if you take me shopping, I will shop for more supplies.
supplies not a bad idea. I don't know what we still have left.
I have 1,491 gold in the funds for the group.
And that is a lot.
It
Yes.
is Nariko coming from her very wealthy and influential business family. Like, it is more than the average person would have. It is less than I would like. Or
Should we go shopping for money?
Nariko actually starts giggling a bit at that. That I mean, I guess you can do that. That's kind of being a tradesman. You buy goods in one location where they're made, and they're therefore, well abundant and easy to acquire, and then you take them elsewhere and you sell them there. And that's, I guess, shopping for money.
Oh, so we could do that.
I, I, I guess we could actually. Huh? Lee's Brewery is right here, and her offerings are in well demand throughout the continent. Hmm.
Oh, you got your thinking look on.
Narco starts tabulating likely profits. Hmm. Um. You know what? It's not gonna be the main thing that we would do, but I think that could be a. You know what we can do? we can go to Z's brewery. We can put down some purchases for some of her product that we can then take with us and sell in different places when we need a little extra money. And while we're here, we can have a little day of taste testing. That can be a fun activity where we will learn new things.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
We can all try all the things and ask each other's opinions, and then we can carry things for other people to try that will then give us money so that you can have the money that you need to have comfortable with, and then we can go shopping.
Yes. And,
Those are good steps.
Yeah, Z probably knows if there are any goods here that would be of particular value to those of the adventuring persuasion. Yeah, I like this. This is a good plan. We have made a plan for practicality and fun.
Yes,
Haha!
that's good. That will.
Naruto just in her brain like, suck it, you overly emotional people. We can totally do both at once.
I mean, well, Steffi and Zia are just up there like, we just said this exactly what we already told you to do, but good on you.
Literally said, just fucking. Oh, you know what? Okay, just that's fine.
Just
Have
do
fun
it. Do your
tonight.
thing.
That's cool.
Do your thing, kids.
You want to
Crazy
fly?
I feel very nice to be myself, and what I am is somewhat broken. Help me.
That therapist Z, she's not that evolved yet.
So funny.
All right. Anybody else looking to have some chats? Or are we looking to turn in for the night or do other things?
I don't have any specific chats, although I think when it's time to sort of turn in, he will question and take up the offer to spend more time with Z at the brewery.
Is that where
Sleepover.
Is that where Professor's looking to spend the night?
Yeah.
All right. Well, unless you guys have anything you want to play out, we can let everyone use their imaginations on that.
Oh, go for the imagination, kids. Have a great time. Always high, bitches.
All right. Not hearing that anyone else is looking to accomplish anything else this evening, I will assume you guys are all turning in. Then you all want to settle into your rooms and get a good night's rest.
I will say that Naruto is going to do a little bit of crafting in the evening before turning in for bed.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. Yeah.
She is going to take that artificial mechanical eye that she scavenged off of the remains of the construct down in the sewers, and finally going to do some mechanisms to turn that into the medallion that you sent to me previously.
Fantastic. Why don't you give me I guess we'll call it like a Tinker Tools check or something. Basically, intelligence modifier plus proficiency, and if you have expertise with your tool, you can throw that on as well.
Do I have expertise? I know artificers do get some of that later on. Let me see. I don't have expertise yet, though I am going to throw guidance and my racial thing on top of it.
Sure.
We'll roll that in the chat. I know those numbers.
Jesus.
Oh, I rolled a 9.
It still comes out to a 23. Amazing. Yeah. No problem. Takes you, I don't know, hour, 2 hours. Not too hard to accomplish with your ability and knowledge and know-how.
Excellent. Let's see. I do have an attunement slot, so I'll go ahead and throw that onto myself. And unless I think of someone else who has no better use for it later.
Sweet. Any other preparations this evening? Going once, going twice.
I am good.
All right.
I will say, if Jade is going to be settling in with Narako for the evening, she's going to make sure Aura is paired up with somebody else to sleep with for the night.
She can pal in with Yuki.
Oh.
They've palled in before.
Yep, sounds good.
We're going on a date, and seeing someone to watch my best friend, so she doesn't get kidnapped in the middle of the night. And I'm right across the hall if anything happens, and I will not be sleeping, so I will hear it if anything happens. Less concerned considering we're in the tavern of basically legends.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. So, unless otherwise stated, everyone gets a long rest, refresh your abilities, hit points, all that other good stuff. I do have one question for Yuki.
Yep.
Your ritual for going to bed or waking up the next morning. Either one.
Sure.
What does that look like?
I think probably do it before going to bed, because we never know what time we're going to get up in the morning. There could be random screaming, so she's learned to kind of prep everything before she goes to bed. Because again, it's about balance. She can control one, she can't control the other, but she can control when she goes to bed and how that looks. So she will kind of take her stuff and kind of put it on her chair next to the bed. She'll take her little outfit and she'll drape it over so that it's not wrinkly for the next day. I think before she goes to bed, she will make a cup of chamomile and catnip tea. And she will sit on her bed, crisscross applesauce, with the tea cradled in her hands as she sits, and she'll take a few minutes and just kind of meditate, think upon the day, breathe deeply, slowly drink her tea. When the tea is done, she will wipe out her cup. She should never leave a dirty cup. Wipe out her cup. She'll leave that with the rest of her belongings and kind of tuck in for bed.
Yuki, as you are going through this ritual of meditation, you feel the nips starting to take hold. And you kind of get that little bit of euphoric feeling. You begin to have a vision. Something starts to ripple in front of you. In a breath, you are standing on a plane of water. And you're standing on top of the water. There's nothing surrounding you but water. And it has kind of like this foggy, cloudy element to it. And through the empty space, you hear a voice. It calls out, Yuki!
Hello? Who's there?
Yuki! You must go to the Dagobah system!
We're gonna die. What's a Dagobah system? Is that by Moonhaven?
After a few moments, a pillar of water slowly rises in front of you and falls.
She gets in fighting stance.
As the water falls back to the plane below, what you see standing is a familiar face. Bearded, middle-aged man wearing nice armor, blue cloak, symbol of the Sentinel emblazoned on his chest and on his shield. You remember him as Fedwin, Lord Captain
Commander. What's a Dagobah system? What are you doing? Where are we?
Kind of laughs, waves his hands like, I'm just messing with you. I don't even know what that is. I think I heard it in a story once. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Why are you here? Where are we? Are you in my dream?
Well, not entirely. See, I know somebody who can kind of project visions across great distances. Let me give you a little bit of background first, though. You see, when you guys, and I'm reaching, let me start by saying reaching out to you because you seem to be one of the more level-headed, less anxious amongst your companions. So you seem to be the best person to reach to kind of take this news. But I want to let you know, since you guys left Crystal Cove, I kind of did a little bit of digging on my own, and man, it didn't take long for word of your exploits to travel far. And I'm glad I put my trust in the right people here.
Hmm.
Um, I took a little journey across the ocean. I'm in Averil right now, by the way. Met an old friend of mine named Eleda. I believe you might have heard of her.
Have I heard of her?
This
She's the one with the clavis.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Got it. Thank you. Yes. I've
Well,
heard of her.
the rumors and the stories that I've heard about you and your crew have, you guys have heard of her, and I believe you've heard of an item called the clavis. I have some contacts at the School of Magic. They kind of tell me about comings and goings, and yours seem to be pretty pertinent. But I want to let you know, I know there have been some kind of concerns about Aleda and, where she's at and everything like that. And me and her had a bit of a contact in the past, not like that. But
I don't even know like what.
good, because we've worked together.
Okay.
I want to let you know that I have found her. She is safe. Everything is good. We are at her safe location. We are in Averil. Man, I don't know if I should really. Well, yeah, all right. I should probably tell you where we're at. So she has a safe bungalow at the shores here, and it's a great place.
Wait,
for
Lord Captain Commander. Wait.
Yes, what?
Why don't instead of telling me where she is, or where you are, why don't you tell us a place to meet you to take us to her? I don't know if anyone is listening. If that's possible.
Oh no, nobody's listening.
Is it safe?
It is safe. Where we are, it is safe.
All right.
You see, the shores. It's kind of like an amalgamation of different islands here, and for anyone to go through them would take a very long time. Not to mention, we're on good terms with the Tritons that live in this area, so we're pretty well protected. Plus, they got me, so we're good. And Aleda's powerful on her own. Things are okay. We know about the cult's plot to try to find this thing. Aleda told me all about it and what this thing does, and why someone else would want it. So, basically, what she wanted me to relay to you, though, is that even though we're safe here, we do need some help finding whoever is left with this cult that is trying to find the clavis and bring about the destruction of worlds. If you could find them, then I know that things will kind of start calming down and we can really start working on a solution to kind of pushing things back, right?
Right.
And then once you're done with that kind of business, then we can all meet here at the shores and we can go from there.
Okay. All right. Then, well, do you know where we are right now?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, we're in Edme right now.
Oh, tell Sephi I say hi. I know she's gonna be mad at me. I haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah, I will. I will tell her. Should I also tell Zakaria? I don't want her to get mad.
Oh yeah, Z, Sepka, all of them. Tell them we say hi.
Okay, perfect. So, we're here. We have to see Sepka tomorrow. The professor has a scroll that we need Sepka to look at, but after that, absolutely, we can, for sure try to find the rest of these cult members. Any ideas where we should start?
Well, it sounds like you've kind of taken care of most of what's going on down there. But I do know that there is word of some running around Tremonto and Donamar around here. Um, there have been reports of things being stolen, exactly like we heard at Crystal Cove. So I wouldn't be surprised if you find them there too.
When you say Tremonto, Yuki kind of pales a little bit. She goes, Tremonto, huh? Okay, that might get a little complicated, but we can go there, sure.
Complicated? Why?
There's it's a engagement, possible wedding. It's fine. We'll sort it out.
What? Who's getting married?
Maybe Naruto? Question mark. We're not sure.
How
It's
do you maybe get married?
have you met Naruto?
Well, yeah, I did briefly with the rest of you in a cage. Well, not in a cage.
Yeah.
We were in a room, but you know what I mean.
Naruto is very, very thinky, and I think if anyone would maybe get married and maybe not get married at the same time, it would be Naruto. But anyway, we'll figure that out. You don't have to worry about that, Lord Captain Commander. We can figure that out.
Well, I'll try not to, but it's gonna bother me.
Well, I mean, it's fine. She's engaged to some guy, and they've been talking and sending letters. But she's also got this thing with Jade, and they're special friends. And I don't know. It's very complicated, and I don't know. And he's in Tremonto, so we're just kind of we'll figure it out. It's okay.
All right. Okay. Right. Well, anyway. Have you gotten any word on where that piece they stole out of the basement of Crystal Cove is?
For those who take better notes than I do, have we found that out?
Hold, please.
Apologies, I was rewriting a note. What was this?
Did we find out where the fake Kiona took the piece that they stole from?
We did not.
Okay.
We still have not found out where she went to.
Okay. Whew. Good. No, we still have not found out where fake Kiona took that piece, or what has become of it, sir.
Okay.
I love that he doesn't blink when she says fake Kiona. He's like, alright.
Well, I suppose if you track down the cult, I'm sure you'll find that somewhere.
Right. We are definitely keeping our eyes open for it.
Yes. In the meantime, we have beefed up the security around the Sentinel Citadel. And
Okay.
we are on the lookout for shape changers, for sure. We know what to look for now. The protections against teleportation have been placed around the area, so we're being extra special careful this time because I definitely don't want another reaming out from Katarina.
Right. Hey, while I have you seen or heard anything from Temerity?
Temerity, no.
Okay. Just wondering, just curious, just one of the many things that we have on our plate. But that's fine, we'll find her too. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll find all the things and meet you in Haverhill when we have.
We'll be here waiting for you whenever you make your way here.
Do we just come? Do I have to, is there a password? Do I need to knock 2 times, then 3 times, then 2 times? Is there a thing we need to do, or just go to Haverhill and call you?
Yuki, we pass out business cards everywhere we go. They'll find out.
Facts.
Find your way to the shores. The Tritons will know you when you show up.
Okay. All right, we will do that then.
And he kind of puts his cloak up, kind of like Vlad Dracula style. And
Yuki's eyes go wide.
He looks at you over the cloak and he says, "Do you have any other questions for me?"
Yuki's the most level-headed one, and she's the one freaking out during this conversation right now.
Why are you standing like that?
Because why else have a cape if you can't do this?
I thought you guys were known for the billowing capes,
They can
not
do
the
both.
hidey face capes.
They can do both.
Okay. No, I don't have any other questions. Am I gonna just be back in bed now, sir?
He kind of looks at you and he grins and he nods once and he goes, "Yep," and then you come right back to your bedroom.
She just sits up in bed and kind of looks around. It's like, I gotta cut back on the nip. And she'll
Are you
take a
okay?
pet. Sorry, Aura, sorry. I had a thing. Fedwin was there. It's I could tell you in the morning.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. It wasn't scary, just weird. I can update all of us, all everybody in the morning. We need our sleep. We're gonna have a big day tomorrow. I'll be fine.
Okay.
And Yuki
Have a good
will
night.
good night. Good night, Aura. Yuki will snoodle back down in the bed and she'll kind of sit there with her eyes just like looking around, like waiting for everything to become water again for a few minutes until her body is like powers her down to go to sleep.
All right. With that done, you do get your full rest in the morning, and full rest at night. The next morning, as a lot of you wake up and start to filter your way back to the main area of the tavern, and Z and Professor come in from spending the night together alone at the brewery, uh, you'll see that Rory and Cassie are definitely not awake yet. But you see Sephi behind the bar. Ember is kind of like pacing along the bar, and you see Sephi's just kind of tapping her fingers, just kind of like watching the door.
Good morning, Miss Effie. Is everything all right?
Huh? Oh, good morning. Yeah, it's fine.
Do you want to tell your face that things are fine? Because your face looks like they're not fine. I'm sorry, that was probably a rude thing to say. I just mean you look nervous and worried as things.
Mm,
Impatient?
yeah, I'm
I'm not good
patient.
at my emotions.
Yeah, I'm patient.
Why? What's wrong?
Mm, Sepka hasn't come back yet. He's been gone for longer than he usually is.
Um, is there anything dangerous or troublesome out in the woods that might have accosted him?
She kind of purses her lips a bit. She says, "Well, our friend, Druid that lives out in the forest, her name is Morwen. She's been having some trouble with her grove lately. And, well, the reason why Sephi went to go visit her is to try to figure out what's going on out there. Something must really be wrong if he's not back yet. It's been a couple of days."
Oh, um, well, if there is assistance to be offered, we would certainly be happy to help. After all, you've been most charitable in your hospitality to us.
She kind of smiles. She says, "Oh, that'd be sweet of you if you want to go check in on him. Maybe you can even help with Morwood's problem."
Maybe, Narako says, very, very aware of the fact that everything she does is like the exact opposite of being a druid.
What sorts of problems was your friend having with her grove? You said.
Yeah, she came in a couple of weeks ago. It was the last time we saw her, and she usually is here about once a week or so. She came in a couple of weeks ago, and she mentioned that the spring is supposed to be blooming in her grove, but the grove isn't coming to life as it usually should every spring. And she was she was actually asking Z quite a bit of questions too, because Z has uh, some experience in nature, asking about different types of fertilizers and feed and other sorts of herbs and other things that maybe she could try to plant around the growth to try to get it to grow better. But
Oh, Ren and Yuki know a lot about herbs and stuff.
really?
Yuki
I
smiles.
do more with poisons.
Well, poison
Well,
would do the opposite of the poison a bit, and then that would be good, right?
well, if
Mm.
you know how to make poisons, maybe we can use that to remove poisons if it's out there.
Yuki will
Yes.
kind of put a hand on Ren and say, we're a pretty good team. Ren is good with poisons, and I'm good with not poisons. So we can help try to identify what might be going on, which is best to fix.
Sure.
So where do we find this druid?
Oh, well, if you go that way, and she'll give you directions. She says, if you go out this way towards the forest, you just head in these directions here, and it'll bring you to Morwin's Grove. And that's probably where Sepka went. Well, that's where he said he was going, so I'm sure that's where he went, actually.
Oh.
We were
Is
concerned
it?
about Morwin because, like I said, she hadn't been here in a while. She's usually here about once a week to get supplies for herself and to deliver some brewing ingredients to Z.
So
Well,
he went to see her more because she just hasn't been here in a while?
She hasn't been here for a while, and the last that we heard of her, she was having some kind of trouble getting her growth to grow.
well, we can go and see what assistance we can do, and on the way back, we can. She'll kind of gesture to Professor and say, "We can talk to Sepka about Scroll and what we have going on the way back."
Sounds perfect.
Really kind of you guys to do this.
Well, everything you've done for us since we've been here has been exceedingly kind, so it is the very least we can do.
She kind of smiles and she nods and says, well, thank you.
Should we just go this morning then? And we just go right away? How far away is it?
It's about an hour's walk from here.
Well then. I think we shall take a little stroll in the woods.
Yeah. I don't know anything about growing things, but we can at least find what's keeping them held up. Maybe they already found a solution and got all caught up in putting the pieces of their plan together.
It's possible. Sepka gets sidetracked a lot.
Oh, he does?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so you're not... So it's not really... That's why you're irritated rather than concerned. I get it. Okay, I
I'm
get
not
it now.
irritated.
You said you were irritated.
Impatient.
Impatient. I'm sorry. That's right. That's two different words. Impatient. That's why you are impatient. I get it.
She kind of leans over the bar and she looks around and she says, between you and me, Rory likes to try to get away with a lot when her dad's not around. Cassie does her best to try to hold her back, but Rory is unstoppable.
I have a sister like that. She's pretty great.
I worry deeply that Sepka is supposed to be like the stern parent.
It's the illusion.
It's more
There is
just
no
now
stern
it's not
parent.
dividing, not just 2 against 1 now.
Like I can only imagine that only works because of like daddy girl syndrome or something.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's the thing.
The illusion of control.
All right. Well, looks like there's a chance for the Mystic Mechanicus to do what it does. We should probably go collect the professor from his sleepover. Or should we let him come
Oh,
in
the
and
professor already came in.
Oh,
Here.
Unless you guys are just waiting, unless you Professor, you and Zeke are waiting at the brewery for your companions to come grab you.
I think that they would have filtered over eventually. I mean, where there's food, the professor isn't going to be far off, especially first thing in the morning.
All right.
yeah. Narca's on board. The location is surprisingly close by, so can do a little light adventuring before lunch, hopefully.
Light adventuring.
Oh, we're not going to be back till lunch. I'm going to need a couple of those cupcakes to go, please.
Fresh baked.
Maybe 3 or 4, please. Actually, you know what? And he kind of opens up his jacket where his handy haversack has been like retrofitted as a pocket into his jacket, and he just holds it open like, if you could just fill this up with cupcakes, baked goods, cured salted meats, and anything really, it'd just probably be better for the cause, really.
Okay. She'll take like half a dozen cupcakes and just whoop right into the haversack.
He'll just kind of hold one up, kind of like waves it around, winks and nods, like, thank you. And he kind of trots over to Z. He's like, don't suppose you're able to join us, hey?
Allison might be muted.
Allison was BRB a second ago.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
That's
didn't see that.
So. Joe, fill in the gap.
Yeah.
So Z will respond to you, Professor, and she'll say, no, sorry, I have something going on at the brewery that I have to be present for, so unfortunately I won't be able to make this trip with you. But I'll make sure to have the taps ready when you come back.
He grins and he's like, perfect. And he kind of takes that cupcake and kind of like boops it frosting first on her nose, leaving like this spot of pink frosting on her nose, and shoved the entire thing into his mouth, kind of does a salute and trots off towards the door.
Z just laughs. She just shakes her head and laughs as she wipes the frosting off her nose and eats it. And she'll look at Steffi and say, not a word.
Seffi just kind of giggles, and she says, maybe not now.
Wait until Stephanie gets home.
Z's face will soften and she'll say, yeah, maybe not now.
All right, so breakfast has had some information that Sepka is out in the forest. Are you guys looking to head right out, or is there anything else you want to do along the way?
Jade's pretty content with like finishing up the breakfast and going and going off to the woods. Does anyone want to do anything over breakfast?
Is there anybody else in the Starlight Tavern other than us, Z, Seffi, the kids, like any other patrons or anything?
Give me high or low.
Oh, he's high, baby!
It's
Yeah.
it's just you guys right now.
Fuck yeah, hi, baby! I think while we're having breakfast, I think Yuki will, update everybody about what happened. She's gonna say, so, funny thing, had a thing last night.
Thing?
Yeah, I saw Fedwin.
You had a dream about
You're having dreams about the Lord Captain Commander.
It was Yuki blushes and she says, "No, no, no, not like that."
I mean, he does have a nice bed.
So much romance in this episode. So
he did
many
look
innuendos.
pretty distinguished, even if he was part of those people who were yelling at
No.
us a bit.
No, it's not like that. I went to go to sleep, and I all of a sudden I was sleeping, and then I was just standing on water, and then Fedwood was there, and he gave me some information about it was really weird.
Elida?
It was water. Oh, no, I'm struggling with Yuki voice while I'm trying to pull my note back up. Yeah, he was there, and then there was nothing. It was water, and then there was tower water. And then Fedwin was there, and he was talking to me about saying that he is with Elena. Maybe I don't know.
Have you
Some
never had
sort
a
of
vision before?
Not like this. No, normally they're more spiritual and calming and not weird. So he told me that Elena is with him. They're together. They're on the shores of Averil, and that they're safe.
Okay.
He told me that we need to go find the rest of the cult members, because they're safe. Their Tritons are there and helping protect them, and they've shut down a whole bunch of stuff, teleportation stuff. Yeah, it's outside of my world. So yeah, so they're safe. But he said we need to find the rest of the cult members and take care of them and stop them.
Okay. I'm gonna try to put that into words, I think. So you had a vision about Fedwin, who told you that he was with the very important person that we know has very important things, but that they were safe.
Yes, and that she has the thing.
To instead go and disrupt the cult from continuing to do the things that they're doing.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
and he said there were some. She's gonna kind of look at Naruko and then look back at Jade and say, running around Tremonto and Donamar.
Oh, that makes sense. I think didn't we get papers, maps, and things that said what they were going?
Their marching orders that they were handing out to the members. That those were two of the cities that were targeted specifically.
Well, that's good then. It means they're not deviating from whoever's giving them orders, right?
Mm-hmm. And if we know what those orders are, it will help.
Okay. Question.
What do you think, Marika?
Yuki, this vision you had, did this seem like the real Fedwin, or was this like something taking on Fedwin's vision to impart this message to you?
I mean,
Was this a spell that he was communicating through?
he said he knew somebody who could get this vision, get this to me, that he could talk to me because because he knew somebody who could help facilitate this conversation.
He did say that Aleda was able to project.
Oh, he did say Aleda. Okay.
Mhm.
So he said that Aleda was able to do it.
Narco nods. Says, there are spells that wizards can make use of that allow them to travel into other people's dreams.
I mean, and for Fedwood, he seemed, I don't know. I guess he seemed like himself. He was a little less scary than he was last time. He's kind of, I don't know, a little dorky. I don't know. A little weird, but not in a bad way. Just like he did this thing with his cloak where he was like hiding in front of his face. It was just weird. It was really weird. And I think I need to balance it out with a little less nip and a little more chamomile. I think I made too strong.
It seems like Yuki's having a panic attack about this.
She's not panicking. She's just severely confused as to like what, how, why me, what does this mean, and why are you in my brain, Fedwin?
I love how Fedwin explicitly said, like, I chose to send this message to you because I feel like you're basically the most well-adjusted in this group. And look,
and Yuki immediately just
what the
panics about it.
Yep. What's happening?
Okay, maybe we'll not be returning this call.
Next time I'll try the Skull Centaur. He seems well-adjusted, relatively speaking.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I've reached out to you because you're the one who seems less angry or panicky about stuff.
Maybe I'll try the one who's got 9,000 daggers. That'll go well.
Fedwin gives up. He sends his next message to Dave. Dave just cages and plays basically like a record recording of Fedwin's message that goes back to the Calliope music.
The Calliope music just changed like a record scratch. And it's just Fedwin's voice booming out of a fucking potted plant. Sorry, getting off topic. Yeah, so that's Yuki will update everybody as to what's happening. So that was my weird night. Sorry again, Aura, for waking you up.
You didn't really. I was still up, but that's okay.
Okay. I just kept waiting for everything to water again. It was very weird.
Knowing that the Clavis has some additional protections is definitely good. Also good that they're hiding out in a place which is pretty much on the other side of the continent from where we were told that they were most likely hiding. So that's also good in the sense that the cultists are likely going to be diverted if they try to make a play for her.
That's
okay.
That's true. Well, I guess if she's been around as long as Aranera says she's been around, she's probably got lots of ways to keep things out of people's hands. Did she, Yuki did, well, I just wasn't sure, you didn't talk to her. Did Fedwin tell you why he was telling you this information? Is it just because he's there to protect her so he can't leave and handle it himself, or
I guess. He said that the words of the word of what we've been doing has been getting around, and he said he was right to trust us.
Well, I guess we have been kind of disrupting all their plans everywhere we go, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. So I guess he heard of everything we've been doing and thinks that we're up for the task or deserve the information, or I don't know.
Sounds like he heard where we were and what we'd been up to, and wanted to better coordinate our efforts between his parties and ours. since he's already there, he's taken up securing the Clavis. Since we're already here and in the business of rooting out these sorts of void incursions before they can harm anyone, he kind of just wanted to give us his recommendation to continue that tactic.
I guess that makes sense. He is a captain and a commander. I suppose he's used to coordinating people.
Hmm.
And he's said that they're safe, for sure, for really safe. And no one can get to him.
I mean, he said he was safe and that Titans were there with them. So
I've never met a Triton before.
I haven't either.
All right. Well, that is good news, and helps us with planning out our next few destinations for sure. But for right now, we can go work on this grove.
Yeah.
Do some local community outreach.
We haven't done community outreach in a while. I guess unless you can't
I consider trudging through the goddamn sewers fighting giant slimes to be absolutely community service.
you said a
Sorry,
swear,
Flora.
which means you will upset. I'm sorry, I'm gonna hug you. That's okay. You can say no, I'm gonna hug you, and I'll hug her. You did really good in the sewers.
Very cramped. It was very smelly.
And it was very gross, and I've never ever want to go back down in the sewer again.
I can almost hear Joe writing down, put them back in the sewer.
Never ever.
We face the final boss of the campaign. It's just like, and for my
Just a sewer.
battleground, it's the middle of the sewer. Fuck you.
Now you're
This
high
does
enough.
nothing to my
no!
advantage, but it will be
I
a blow
want
to whoever.
weakness.
Now you're high enough level that I can use legendary resistances and layer actions.
Oh no, the lair action of the sewer. Ugh. No, thank you.
What do you think about all this, Professor? Do you think? Sorry,
About Yuki having dreams about Fedwin.
yeah, is that a thing? Norika said there's spells that wizards can do to do that. Do you know of those spells?
I don't know, like, I know of them. I'm not capable of performing them myself. It's far above my pay grade, but yeah, it's possible. And I mean, there's unimaginable powers out there that we've only barely touched the surfaces of it. It seems to me that with someone as old and wise, I really don't know who this Elida is, but it seems to me that if we're dealing with people of that age and powers such as the Clavis, it's projecting ourselves onto someone else's mind would be child's play.
Do you think we're all gonna get a visit? A dream visit of Fedwin?
Maybe. I mean, maybe. We didn't exactly make good friends with him.
No, that's true. I should really apologise. I should send him a letter to. I mean, I don't know. He couldn't get it now, but I could send him a letter that says I'm sorry.
I'm sure he would appreciate that. Although he didn't seem angry.
No, but it wasn't a good day, and I feel bad about it, and I feel bad.
Well, how about this? If we're just going to go about eliminating this cult and we're going to run into him anyways, and just tell him that. It'd be so much more sincere to hear it from your face.
Oh, okay. Yes, I can do that. Oh, that's a good plan. By eliminate, that just means stop them. And anyway, we have to, right?
Eliminate the cult threat. I mean,
Right.
whatever that means. I
So
prefer not.
If we prison them or save them, that also is good.
The second one, if
But
possible.
we'll have to, if we need to, do what we need to do.
Right.
If they attack us or anyone else that we care about.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of looks a little bit sad as thoughts of Rockamira come back to him. He's like, there's always a choice, and unfortunately, it seems we keep getting pushed into our choices without getting to make them ourselves.
Well, we'll just have to make sure that we exhaust all of our choices before that happens. And I think all of us are on the same page about that.
Well, hopefully, the next time we run into a cultist, they'll be as sensible as Rockamira.
I hope so.
As sensible as she was.
Well, maybe maybe by the time that we come across something, we'll have better options available to us, so we have better choices that we can make. But in the meantime, we should go get Sepka so that he can get that scroll read, and then maybe we'll have some more answers. Maybe we'll have some even more answers before we even leave here. Or at least there's no
That
cults
sounds... He kind of wrinkles up his nose and he says, there was this philosopher known widely as Murphy, and he posited that if you say something is not going to happen, it is most certainly going to happen.
here. Oh, I didn't say anything wasn't going to happen.
You said there were no cultists here. There's
nobody cult in this room.
He crosses his arms and is like, no. But let's go. And keep it
I
that
can't just not say things that aren't true when they're true, because then how does that help? And she's going to follow the professor out as she's trying to figure out what he's talking about.
He laughs and he's just like trying to explain the best as he can what Murphy's Law is and how it's not a literal, if you say it, it's your fault.
How's that working for the professor?
I don't know. What's the role for facilitation?
Bad.
Persuasion?
So, Jay, do you understand
Quick,
what the word
Jade, make an
Radonic
intelligence
that?
check.
I'm not clear on what we're rolling for here.
Whatever it is with a +8, a 12 is not great, and apparently just arriving here has got him flustered enough to not be able to use the words he wants to make Jade understand things.
Jade rolled a 13 on her intelligence. She gets the gist of it.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So you move on to the forest. It does take about an hour or so before you reach the grove that Sephi had pointed out. Let me get some tokens. The trek through the forest is pretty uneventful. There are paths that wind through all sorts of thickets and groves and trees, but you stay on the path that Sephi has pointed out for you to get to Morwen's specific grove. So about an hour passes under the bright, warm daylight sun, and as you are going along the path, you follow the directions until you come to a grove that has a distinct difference from the surrounding forest. Trees and underbrush, though still alive, seem wilted and dim. Limbs and branches are not as full as you'd expect. There is a lack of forest creatures within this grove compared to its surroundings, and you notice bones from smaller animals have been affixed to various tree trunks and are strung from branches overhead. And I will move you to the map.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
You guys are going to be down here.
But wait, Professor, weren't you just saying that if you say something that you don't want to be true, it's going to be true? So you shouldn't say things that you don't want to be true?
I just telling you my feelings and being open and transparent. I didn't say what I think is in there, but I have feelings that something is in there.
Confusing.
You don't see bones strapped to trees very often, and when you do, it's not usually for good reasons.
It's not. I think they look kind of nice decoration.
Oh, I'm not saying they're ugly. And he like gets flustered, realizing like I didn't mean to. Your aesthetic is beautiful. I love your skulls, but I mean, this is kind of weird. I think.
Oh,
He kind of
it is.
gestures at the forest.
Oh, she's supposed to be a druid, right?
Yes, I must say that I've not met a ton of druids, but bones have not really been the aesthetic of the druids I have met.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, maybe she's just using all the parts of the animals so that they don't go, to waste, and she's trying to decorate.
Mhm.
Although, the trees do seem a little sad.
That fence over there with the signs out, why is it broken like that?
I don't know. Let's go. I'll go check it.
This doesn't have the looks of a peaceful place where everyone is happy and dancing around trees.
Is that normal for the trees?
I don't actually know. I just have this really vivid mind picture of what being a druid in their grove looks like.
Oh,
You don't.
Ren, Aura, do you see anything concerning?
Red looks around in confusion. It looks quite pleasant to me.
What else? Well, hold on then. Let me do a thing, and I will bring up more detect magic. Maybe they're just make sure that there's nothing untoward happening, and then we can go and we can find Sepka. Maybe he's deeper into the forest, and that way it looks like there's some more broken things. Maybe they were trying to build something. I don't feel anything strange right now.
Maybe we just go with caution forward.
Okay.
So as you approach, Jade, your detect magic does not pick up anything. As a technical point of order, what you'll see on the map, there are some vision blocking that is set up here. You are able to pass through those barriers. That kind of denotes areas where the forest is thicker, so like you can move. So that's kind of like a more of a wooded, brushy area that you can move through if you want, but you won't be able to see in or out of because of the thickness of the brush. But everywhere in this forest, you can move through.
I'm not picking any kind of strange magics up or anything like that. Or should we just call out for Sepka? Maybe they're just in the woods and can't hear us and lost track of time. That happens, and she looks at Noriko. To some people, when they're all distracted with fixing things.
Naruto just doesn't even pick up that she's being referred to. She just nods like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Should we just say Sepka? Or is it Mr. Sepka? Mr. Sepka? Hello?
That he has a lot of titles, and I'm not sure Mr. is one of them.
Oh, that was one of the appendixes that came out.
All his titles.
Mm-hmm. I guess the bar didn't want to write it every single time, so they put a little asterisk, and then they put out an appendix. I'm
Should we
still
just
not
go
thinking.
cautiously?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, maybe they've been just trying to fertilize things. If they have to dig, maybe they've been just tired. Hello?
Call out, Jade, and you hear your voice kind of echoing off the trees around you, and it kind of like echoes almost like it does in an open field, but nothing responds.
This is got a weird feeling.
I don't hear any birds or anything either. Maybe they all left because of the sad trees.
It's been a long time since I've been in the woods. But birds don't just leave. He kind of gets almost twitchy and itchy, and he kind of slinks low to the ground, and he switches forms to his kitsune form, so he's more kind of stealthy, and he moves. And where his boots struck the ground previously, you could hear him walking. He makes significantly less sound in this form.
Arby holds up an arm as its photoreceptors spot something to the northeast.
What Arby notices is nestled under a large, sturdy tree is a small campsite. A canvas tent stands behind a currently unlit campfire. Also around the campfire you notice a large rock, which has a similar surface area to a workbench. The top of this rock is stained with blood, and behind it are several stretching frames used to hang animal pelts to make leather. Around the rock is a scattering of discarded bone fragments. And I believe from where Arby is, you are able to spot two large snakes coiled in the underbrush nearby and asleep.
Haruko kind of creeps up to get that view. I think that's probably our druid's campsite. Doesn't seem like anyone's there at the moment, and I don't know if the two giant snakes are her companions or a potential problem. They are asleep right now.
Well, if this is a campsite, maybe we'll find something about where they went to, or at least how old it was that they stayed here. I mean, just from over here, it looks like it's pretty well used. Maybe they just went off somewhere. We could just wait for them here.
Well, coming all the way out here to find them and figure out what the holdup is probably doesn't make a lot of sense for us to then come here just to wait
Just
here.
wait. That's true.
Yeah. I'm worried about the snakes there. Do we maybe want to just send one or two of us who are better at moving quietly to kind of check it out and report back?
Oh, that's a good plan. Yeah. Maybe Professor, you're pretty quiet and you have little paws now. Do you think you could poke around in there and see if there's anything?
I can come
Yeah.
with you, Professor. I won't let you go by yourself.
Good idea.
I have a +6 to stealth, so.
I have a +5, but disadvantage.
Oh no!
I'm using an inspiration on that.
Oh my god, yes. Alright.
Oh wait, no. Yeah.
Oh, yep, gonna use mine too.
Ooh, buddy. Look at you two 23s.
Hell
And the
yeah.
second go around.
Yeah, so you guys are able to be super sneaky and kind of sneak your way around as you kind of close in on this campsite area, if the snakes notice you, they make no movement to show it.
I'm going to kind of investigate in and around this camp to see if there's any like clues as to what's going on here or where everybody went.
Why don't you give me an investigation check, or actually investigation or survival, one or the other.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, give me a second here. I was just adjusting something real quick. 15 survival. So, with your survival check, you do see that there are a number of footprints that are around this area that are consistent with a campsite. You notice they kind of go in this direction here and then kind of veer off here and go north. There's a bunch of footprints that seem to be going back and forth in that kind of direction.
Did you say there was a rock with blood on it?
Yes.
Can I look at the rock and see if there's anything around it that might have, if someone hit it, fell off of them when they hit it?
Why don't you also give me, this would be, I guess, survival or investigation.
Okay. Let's see.
On a 13, you
Wait,
don't...
can I help?
Sure.
Roll it again.
Yeah. Rollies!
So on a 16, you kind of look around. You do not see any kind of evidence of like a struggle or anything like that around here.
Okay.
Your best inclination is that this rock was used to kind of to kind of like skin animals and harvest harvest them.
Perfect. Okay.
Professor will just kind of point out the tracks and sort of gesture to return back to the crew.
Yuki will silently nod and follow.
Before you do so, why don't you give me a perception check? Or either of you, or both of you, or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Let's both do it. Okay.
What
That's a lot
the
of 15s. Do I? Oh, I'm just gonna start using my dice.
Anytime you keep getting the same rolls, just use real dice.
Yeah.
As you kind of take one last look around this campsite before you walk away, you do notice that there are some supplies inside the tent.
Oh, what kind of supplies?
You want to go inside the tent to find out?
They don't say curiosity killed the kitsune for nothing.
Yuki will stand outside, not leaving him by himself, and she'll kind of keep an eye on the snakes to make sure that they don't rustle around while he's getting the supplies.
Inside you find a handwritten journal, a bound book that is titled Book of Creation. You also find an herbalism kit and several jars filled with plants growing in a hydroponic environment.
I will take the journal and the book and just sort of slide them into my pocket and kind of gestures to everything else. And he just kind of whispers. He's like, "Are those useful?"
They might be. Here. And Yuki she'll pull her satchel open and just very quietly take them from Professor and put them in her bag.
Help her loot the belongings of people that we're pretty sure are good people.
We're gonna give them back.
Not only good people, but potentially still alive and maybe coming back this way.
Right? We're gonna give
They
them
don't need to
back.
know.
I'm not gonna
Look,
take
they could
them.
be having a whole 47 hours moment right now, and this is our only clue to where they went.
Exactly. So
Right? That's the name of that movie, right?
Yeah. It's for the good of the colony. And then once we've taken all the spoils, we'll return back down here, where the professor will say, "They went that way, and there was some supplies in the tent." And he kind of holds up the two books that he took.
And some jars, and she'll take out one of them.
Oh, we could follow the tracks to try and find them. Maybe we could find out what they were doing. Is that what those books are?
Naraka will take the Book of Creation to give it a quick glance if someone else wants to grab the journal.
I'll hold on
Okay,
to the
we'll go to
journal.
the journal. Cool.
But you can have it.
No, Professor can do it.
Okay.
Ren, maybe you should look over these jars of things.
Ren will lean forward and analyze them. What sort of check do I need to evaluate the contents of the jars?
Give me.
And can I help?
Yes, I will take a nature check.
Nature check.
Do it, Red.
Hey, what is your nature?
I don't fucking know. +3?
Yuki, I believe this is more your speciality. I have a +0.
No. All right.
Okay.
Let's.
Okay, I'm survival king, okay? I am not so good at nature. I know how to live through it.
On 15, Yuki, these look like the kind of herbs and other ingredients that could be found in. I mean, hell, it could even be found in one of your teas. What you can tell is it looks like whoever was working with this was possibly experimenting with different ways to grow these plants. As you kind of study the jar, you see like the floating nutrients and minerals that are kind of like in the water. It's almost like one of those like self-sustaining ecosystem type things.
Interesting. It's like they're hydroponically trying to grow these plants, and interesting. It's definitely a different way to do this. Must have been from the druid. And she'll tuck them carefully back in her bag, being respectful, and to make sure that when she returns them, they are in good condition.
Now I heard that we were also looking at the book and the journal as well. Is that right?
Yep.
So a quick glance at the book, Narco. There is an inscription on the first page that, from a quick glance, you can read. That gives you this.
Oh boy, Gabe's gonna want to...
Oh no.
As far as the journal goes, who's looking at that one?
Professor's looking at it.
Professor.
Gabe will give help if needed.
Professor, do you speak Druidic?
I certainly do not.
You cannot read this journal.
Damn.
What is this? Does he holds it? I was like, does anyone read French?
I could try.
He'll come up and hand it off to Aura.
After a few minutes of trying to figure it out, I will ritual cast comprehend languages.
Very good.
Nice.
Is this something that you're going to want to read to yourself, or are you going to translate for everybody as you read through it.
I can translate for everybody.
Then I will put this in everybody's journals. It'll be a minute or two to read it.
Hmm.
Oh, good.
And that last entry that's in there is where it ends.
Joe, what is the current date?
The current date is the 15th of April. 16th. Actually, today's the 16th of April. Sorry.
I'm glad we have these similar passions when it comes to how we disperse information in our games. I think we should probably follow those footprints and find just what exactly is being fed. Because something is growing off of all this, and it does not appear to be the forest.
Well, I guess we know where all the skulls and bones came from.
Jay, do you get any hint of void magic here?
Do I?
Detect magic does not detect any.
Jade shakes her head. No, there's no void here at all. Am I
Good.
picking it up from the professor?
Yeah, you feel the professors.
Yeah. I mean,
You also
not,
feel
not
Yuki's.
like I can feel the void coming off of the two of you. So it's normal. I'm not missing it. It's just there is no void here in this forest, at least not right now.
How strange it is to be relieved that This is possibly just a standard run-of-the-mill scary forest thing that we're probably going to be coming up against.
Maybe. Although if something were destroying this druid's grove, do you think it maybe made her desperate to fix it? I'm sure.
Oh, most definitely. Druids, trees. I'm willing to probably bet that, yeah, she'd probably do something crazy to save the trees.
Well, in her
Quick discussion.
journal it says that.
What do the snakes?
Oh, I'll cast a message. I cast a message to Noriko. If the trees were dying and she was giving herself to the trees, could she be not all there right now?
I very much think that, based on the tone and phrasing of her her journal. I don't know many druids. They tend to be a lot more. They don't tend to fall. They don't tend to usually be quite so single-minded about a single thing. They're very. They understand the whole of the ecosystem. That makes sense.
That's what I thought too.
Quietly trying to make our way around end here.
Just to make sure that this my aura of detect magic is capturing everything. When it passes over the snake, do I get any void magic from the snake?
Nope.
Oh, not a void creature. Good to know. She's gonna give like a little. She's gonna like throw a thumb over her shoulder to like the snake, and she's gonna shake her head like that means anything to anyone, but just and then give a thumbs up. And then she's gonna cast a message again. There's no void magic on the snakes. I don't know how to sign void.
Okay.
So we're going this way. This way we're
So
going.
from where you are
Northward.
from where you're at, Professor would let you know that directly north from where you currently are is where the tracks that he picked up lead to. As you look ahead, you will see that in the distance, which would be off the map from where you are here, there is a clearing up ahead.
Do we hear anything?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Boop. I don't hear shit.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Cool. Do we hear birds and anything like forest noises?
It's quiet in this immediate area, but you can hear it off in the distance.
Okay. That's fair.
I love the inching forward.
Look, man, I got my bomb sweeping robot. I'm gonna use them.
So Arby and Professor, as they reach that end of the path, the clearing begins to open up, and what you see is a little bit startling at first. I'm going to... Where is... There. Bring you over to the next map. Give me a moment. So what you see up ahead is a clearing from this grove. There are two tentacle-laden beasts kind of wandering about the outside of a raised hill. On top of this hill, you see what you would recognize as two owl bears. But the strange thing about these owl bears is that they have two heads. In the center of this raised area is a dark-skinned tiefling dressed in druid's robes. She stands next to a tree that stands about 10, 15 feet high. Entangled in the branches and leaves and bark of this tree, you see the silhouette of a man. Dark haired, dark skinned, wearing fabulous garb.
Oh no.
Absolutely not.
Here's
Oh, she's pretty though.
the druid.
She is pretty.
She seems to be running her hand along the bark of the tree, talking to it softly. Within the limbs of the tree, you see this little guy who appears to be unconscious.
No.
So what do you do?
Okay, so is this? So we come into this clearing.
Mm-hmm.
There's these two owlbears. We see these two guard beasts that have tentacles and stuff.
Mhm.
The woman is
Beast.
the woman is at the tree, actively touching it, and we see Sepka like. Is he just like up against the tree, or is he like being consumed by the tree?
He's like entangled in it. There are branches and vines
Entangled,
that are completely wound
okay.
around like his arms and legs and his waist, kind of holding him in place, holding him suspended up in the boughs of the tree.
Okay.
Narco will lean down and whisper, "So, I don't think this is something that you would do with one of your friendly neighbors if you were trying to not be a bad person."
No, but if something's wrong with her, maybe she thinks she's being a good person. I don't know. These are, I mean, Sephi called her a friend. And the journal said that she came to them for help.
This is not something a friend would do.
Maybe she's not doing it. Should we try to talk to her?
We should definitely try talking to her. Try to seek to understand what's happening here in the very least before we start firing away.
Does anyone here think they have a good chance to try and get up and free Sepka from that thing?
I'm pretty fast, and I could try to be quiet.
I'm a literal forest spirit. Maybe she'll talk to me.
Yeah.
Let's maybe we should tell her that we've been sent here to help.
Yeah.
That Sephi wants Sepka back.
Yeah. Professor, why don't you do some talking more than here? And Yuki, maybe see if you can get around the side stealthily. If things go well with the negotiations, you could probably make a beeline for Sepka, see if you can get him free. I'm sure if he was, I mean, he was one of the sons of that grows, right? Like, he should be very, very powerful. Help us out.
Sometimes you don't expect your friends to do something bad to you. Doesn't matter how powerful you are.
But he could definitely help us with sorting out the situation now that the element of surprise is gone.
True.
He was tricked.
Try not to hurt the tree. He's in it. I don't know what that'll do to him.
Professor, when you walk out there to start the conversation, just keep RB next to you.
Right. He kind of steps up to Arby and kind of does that knock with the back of his knuckle on his chest and nods. Let's go.
Marco's going to find herself a little position to sit down with her weapon at the ready. And she does not expect this to go well.
As the professor steps out, he tries to make himself as like non-imposing as possible, and he just goes, "Wow, this is a hell of a force. I love what you've done here. You must be a druid. I know druid work if I see it."
Those of you try to be sneaky with Professor drawing attention. Why don't you guys give me a stealth check with advantage? As Professor calls out, you see the attention of these beasts in the forest kind of turn towards him. This one makes a few steps forward, kind of like that curious like padding forward. But yeah, those of you who are trying to be sneaky, why don't you go ahead and give me some stealth checks with advantage.
So 24 for Yuki. I'm using regular dice because fuck this.
Okay.
Rolled an 18 and a 5.
All right, Rocket. Now is not a good time, buddy. Yeah. So all eyes right now, kind of on Professor. The tiefling woman at the center turns and nods. She says, You are not a familiar face to me. How did you
No, I
find
suppose
my
it.
grove?
Well, if there's one thing that my people are good at, it's finding forests. And there's something curious about this one. What's happening here? This is, I mean, it's beautiful, but it's not what I'm used to seeing in a forest.
She kind of looks around her and she says, You've noticed the trees are not as bright as they should be with the spring bloom coming. I had to find other ways to feed them, and I found the knowledge to do so, and look how well my baby's growing. And she again puts her hand on the bark of the tree and kind of strokes her hand down a bit. She's
Oh,
glorious, isn't she?
she is beautiful. What exactly are you feeding that tree to make her grow so luxuriously?
She looks up and she says, Fertilizer.
He gestures to Shepka. He's like, that is fertilizer?
Fertilizer, yes, food, nourishment. All things need food to live.
He kind of clears his throat a bit and he says, if you don't mind, that fertilizer is of particular interest to me. Might I request that perhaps we don't eat that one, and maybe I can find something else in its place?
She shakes her head and she says, No.
No. Is this one special? Is this the one that's more nutritious to your trees than others?
He is powerful. He has much energy within him, much vitality. His life force will sustain the forest.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm not sure. Are you familiar with my people? He kind of puts a hand to his chest, gesturing to himself.
Have her make a check.
Oh yes, I have seen your people before in my Japanese animes.
Forest spirit, are you a child of Maleki?
Do I know about my Lakey?
Give me a religion check.
Okay. That's a 21.
21. Maleki is a goddess, also called the Lady of the Forest. Uh, Basically a patron of druids and rangers. Just kind of like a patron goddess of the forest in general. Kind of,
Oh,
yeah, very similar to, yeah, kind of on the level with Kellenborg.
right, my Lakey. Yeah, absolutely. We go way back. We used to do basket weaving together. Child, not so much. Did a couple of wine nights, girls' nights, sort of thing. She gets a little bit loose-lipped when she's drinking. Learn all kinds of things, if you know what I mean.
Give me a deception check.
My likey, goddess of unicorns, the most virgin of goddesses.
Okay, that is a 23.
Oh, yes, she is wonderful, and she gives life to things, and she offers her wisdom.
She she certainly does. You know, being one with a friend of my Lakey, I think I might be able to find something more nourishing for your tree than that one. And perhaps you'll get something you need, and through the one up there, your fertilizer, I'll get something that I'll need. And a beautiful partnership could be started here.
She again shakes her head. She says, Maliki honors the sacrifice.
Does she, though? I mean, you've sounds like you've done a fair bit of sacrificing, and well, I mean, I've seen my share of trees, and this is beautiful, and you're doing fabulous work, but it could be better. I could help you find the way to make it better.
Uh, Couple things happen, Professor. As you're speaking with her, Jade's sneaking up with a 12 stealth. This guard beast begins to turn its attention towards you and kind of takes a step forward as you become aware that it has recognized your presence. You do
Yeah.
get void magic off of this beast.
Yep. Figured.
Really?
Just making sure.
One of the professor's tails just kind of twitches as this thing kind of gets closer, and he kind of puts on his best kitsune smile and he says, "What do you say? Let's really make a show of this forest together."
If you have others for sacrifice, I will accept, but not until this one is done.
What if I could get you someone way more powerful than that one?
Then their sacrifice will also be honored.
He looks to Herb. He's like, "This is not going the way that I thought."
RB gives
Okay.
a shrug.
All right.
As you step
Sorry,
forward,
I
so
don't
does
know
the
your
double
name.
bear. As you close in.
I'm the professor. This is my friend Arby. Human cyborg relations. I'm sure you understand. We.
Floated over 9,000
What's your
feet of
name?
communication.
Can give you knows all the languages, can't talk.
My name is Morwin Emberleaf, and this is my grove.
Morwen and Belief. Might I show you something from my grove back home?
You may, at a distance.
Oh, of course. And he takes a step back and he digs into his pocket. And he kind of reaches in and pulls something out. And he holds it like cupped in a hand with his other hand kind of cupped over it. And he says, "A gift from me to you, from my grove." He kind of holds his arms out, but doesn't uncup his hands, like he's keeping a cricket in there or something.
Yuki, as you get that close, I would like you to give me another stealth check with advantage.
Yup. I was waiting. I was getting ready. Dice. Jesus fuck. Oh fuck,
Too good,
guys,
dice.
get
Too
rid.
good.
Oh, how many fucking. Give me 1 second. Panicking. Checking my fucking sheet. Panicking. Beautiful. Didn't use the inspiration from the third, so I'm using another inspiration.
Okay. Don't forget, you also have Clockwork Ambulance, too.
True.
Only for attack roll.
Only for attack
Not
rolls.
for
Okay, never mind.
uh,
Sorry.
Good, because that was
I always forget.
that was a fucking 5 and a 3. So ha ha ha
Oh,
ha ha
my stealth is actually a 13. I miscounted.
ha ha.
You're still noticed on a 13.
How about a 19?
Oh, I figured.
19. You kind of like, as you're moving forward through the brush, you're about to put your foot down. You feel something like underneath your foot. You realize you were about to snap a twig under your foot, and you would definitely have been hurt in that case. And you're like, ha ha ha, sidestep. Still
Dope
go
milk
unnoticed.
bullshit. What do I have to do to try to get Sefka loose?
You can give me an athletics check or an attack roll
Okay.
on the tree.
Okay. I don't want to attack the tree because
He's up in the tree, right? Like he's not there at the base of the tree. Like he's like in the tree branches, right?
Correct.
Yuki's got a climb speed.
Yeah.
He can get on up there.
Yeah, Yuki's got climb and movement. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. What did you say? Athletics? No.
It'd be an athletics check to try to try to pull him down, but
Pull him.
before you do so, do give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. That's +5 to my 14, so 19.
On a 19, as you get closer and you're preparing to make your move, you see that the branches of this tree have almost like grown around his arms and his legs and his torso. So your inclination on this is that a brute strength alone is going to be difficult.
Okay. So this is not just a yank and run. This is gonna have to be an attack roll.
You're gonna have to try to break some branches, basically.
Okay.
Yuki can make lots of attacks.
She can. And she's got some sharp little claws too. All right, then let's just fucking.
A 15 hits.
Yes. But how much noise does it? Okay.
Enough.
Give me
Ha
damage.
ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
5 slashing.
6 slashing.
Oh, do you have your magical stuff on?
Yeah. Yeah, murder mitts are magical.
Okay.
Magical murder mitts.
Oh, you have the +1 from Narcos Infusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You slash at the tree, and as your claws rip through the bark, where you would normally see like the raw wood underneath,
Mhm.
the tree begins bleeding.
Fuck.
You can finish the rest of your attacks if you like.
Let's fucking go! Let's go!
Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go! That doesn't hit.
8 is not strong enough to break through the bark.
Boop.
Or
What
9 is
about a
not strong enough,
10?
neither is a 10.
God damn it. See, I should have just fucking kept rolling my dice. But that was
Jeez.
too much math and it intimidated me.
You slash through, the branches make a crack noise. Marwin's attention is taken from the professor and swivels and sees you, Yuki. The owl bears turn and they growl. The guard beasts bare their teeth. And she says, "Oh, it's a sneak attack then. Very well." That's initiative.
Yuki growls back, point of order. Very a la the Mummy. When they're screaming at him and he screams back, very, very much so.
Love that thing.
Since Narco had spent time setting up her little sniper perch, does she perchance get any shots off before things go to hell?
Yeah, I'll let all of you to take an action before, if you're all kind of like ready to spring, I'll let each of you take an action as kind of like a surprise round.
Lovely. I know what Narco is going to be. She's aiming right for this blue tentacle beast, and she is going to hit it with a sharpshooter shot.
All right, let me get these initiatives in here. Does anyone else have actions prepared?
Whoops. Let me do mine. It's routine.
I mean, Thorn Whip's always ready to go.
It's always
And
ready.
now they have Spell Sniper.
Yeah, I'll
It's 21.
Hang on.
21 for Jade.
Wait. Initiative. Okay.
And I will give Aura advantage on her initiative as well.
Thank you.
Get more win.
Then I will roll myself into this. Oh, you already put me in. Never mind.
Yeah, I gotcha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So for those who want a refresher, sharpshooter is that feat where you take a -5 on the attack roll, but get +10 to damage.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's fucking hot.
4, 5.
Uh,
I got everybody. Okay.
I rolled a 19, so that's a 24 to hit.
Let's see. Give me a moment here. Yep. Okay. This is that. Yep. Okay. So that is a 24 to hit. You're hitting the beast. The blue one?
Yes. Blue.
Yeah, that hits.
That will be 25 magical piercing damage.
God damn.
Excellent.
I'll take others in order of initiative. Jade, did you have anything prepared?
I have something I want to do, but it would require me to use my turn to do it.
You
So
have?
I don't.
You have surprise round.
I have a whole surprise round, so I can use my movement action bonus action.
Well, yeah. So you have action that you can use.
I can't use a bonus action.
Well, no, I mean it's a surprise round. Yes, you have.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to clarify because the thing I'm about to do might be very cool if it works.
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
Love that game.
movement and action, I run to the tree.
Do you have enough?
It's 60
so
feet away.
Your bonus. Okay. All right.
My bonus action. Can I reach Sepka?
Sepka is currently. The tree is 5 feet away, and Sepka is like 10 to 15 feet up. So from where you're standing on the ground, no.
Okay, so they were 55 feet away from me to get to here. So, then the bonus action thing won't happen right now, and I'll just get right up on top of this. And that is my turn.
Professor.
Sorry, Yuki was also on the ground and not in the tree, so I thought we could reach him
She was climbing.
because she was gonna try to pull him down.
Yeah, no, I was climbing. I've got a fuck ton of movement.
Yeah.
She
Cool.
was no, Yuki got up there up with Sepka. She is like cat in a tree.
the tree.
Cat in a tree.
Professor.
Seeing Jade kind of run up there, like right in the thick of it, his eyes widen and kind of has a bit of a panic, and he kind of just like moves up here. He's like, "Wait, we can still talk this out. We don't have to. This isn't an attack. This isn't an attack at all. This is a rescue. Sepka is very important. We need you. You can't eat him. I will help you find something else. It's not too late." And that'll be his surprise turn.
Yuki got her surprise. Ren, how about you? Or Aura? Sorry, I missed Aura.
Okay, that's alright. You get Aura first.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed Aura.
Aura does not have anything planned for a surprise round.
Okay. Then Ren.
Thorn Whip the blue puppy.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
That was a warning shot. Okay, end turn.
All right. It's battle music. Professor, as you make your plea to Morwyn, she turns around to you and she says, "Does food ask to be food? Do you ask the meal on your plate if it wants to be eaten?"
He just sort of like winces and scrunches up his nose and says, "You have a good point. However, that food typically has a means of defense." And he hesitates and just sighs. You kind of see him deflate a little bit. He says, "And where his defense? I beg of you, just let him go. We don't have to fight."
No, we don't. You have the choice to walk away.
Not without him.
With that, Jade, you're up.
Sorry, I was muted that whole time. From where I'm at, can I climb the tree?
You would have to, you can move like 5 feet into the diagonal, and then you'll be able to climb.
Yep. Is it difficult terrain for me because I don't have climb speed?
Basically, yes. It would cost double movement to climb.
Okay. I'm going to do that. And I will reach up and touch a part of Sepka that's visible. And I will Misty Step him 30 feet away if I'm able to.
Where do you want to put him?
I want to put him behind the professor, between the professor and Arby.
So like right here?
Yep.
Alright.
So Jade climbs into the tree, and she's not good at this. She doesn't climb. She's got too many bags, and her staff is there too, and she's got one arm wrapped around a branch, and the other arm is just grabbing onto whatever is closest to Sepka that she can get, which is probably his knee. And she's gonna look at Yuki, and she's gonna say, I'd really like not to fight the nice lady who might have something wrong with her, so let's do this a different way. And
Sepka gets wrapped up in silver mist and disappears from the tree and appears in a whirl of magic next to Professor and Arby. And that is a bonus action to do that. And my action will be to do something. This is a terrible idea. It's probably not going to work. And she's just going to call down to the druid. I'm really sorry that we're touching your tree, and I know you tried to put a lot of time and effort and love into it, but Sepka has children and they need their father more than the tree needs him right now. So I'm sure we can figure something else out if we can talk about it, and if we can't talk about it, it's probably going to be a problem, and I'm sorry for that too. And I will hold my action to cast a word of radiance on her if she attacks.
All right. Professor.
The professor will look to Arby and he'll just say, "Take him and put as much distance between you and this place as possible, as quickly as possible." And he kind of looks back up to Morwen, kind of like hands up. He doesn't really have much he can do without his spell book, so he's like his hands are kind of up defensively, like he's trying to command a fleet of velociraptors. And he's just like, again, we don't have to fight. I really don't want to, and I think you probably don't want to either. And that'll be it.
All right. Narco.
Let's see here. Need to check one thing. Okay. Narco will use her bonus action to have Arby pick up Sepka so that he can be moved. What's Arby's speed? I really continue to hate how they lay this out. The character sheet. 40 feet. Okay. Could I perhaps possibly have access to the Sepka token to move him about?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. There you are.
Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then move Sepka down here. Narco's going to move over here, and she's going to reach into her bag of tricks, pull out a big old syringe with a lot of red liquid in it, and shove it right into Sepka's neck. I'm casting Cure Wounds on him.
Very nice.
Nice.
That is 12 points of healing that he will get.
It's going to help more on him.
He does. I don't think it's visible to anyone else but me, though.
I just.
No, I can see it.
I
can
just
see it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, 12 points of healing damage back to Sepka.
But no rousing?
No rousing yet. No.
Okay. I guess with what's left of my turn, Naruto will look over and see what he may need to do in order to fix him.
Give me an Arcana check.
I can do that. That's a 26.
Your best guess is that this is not a natural sleep that he's in. It is likely magically induced.
What are the most frequent ways in which one can uninduce magical sleep? I know that the base spell, you just gotta give him a hard shake.
Seems a bit deeper than that. So it might be one of those things that would require like a dispel, or just time for it to wear off.
Not being quite powerful enough to do either of those, Naruko will lean down into his ear and say, Depka, we need your help. You're supposed to be like a god king or whatever. Your wife is really worried about you. I do not want to go back to her and tell her that we lost you. Vaguely hoping that talking about his wife or kids will prompt Sepka to get the fuck up. Well, that was my hope for the turn.
Okay.
That's it.
Red is going to Red Beast. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 up on Arby. And is going to attempt to make a bite at Arby. It's a 16 to hit Arby.
That hits.
So it is a total of 11 piercing. And I need Arby to make a strength saving throw.
That is okay, but not great on him. But he rolled a nat 20, so who cares?
Alright! Arby is not knocked prone. Sethka's sleeping. Aura.
Aura can't get close enough to do what she actually wants to. So she's going to cast Wither and Bloom.
Nice.
Where are you placing it?
I wonder if I can... Wait. No snapping. It is a 10-foot radius.
Okay. Yeah, you could sufficiently if
I can't really get both of them and Sefka.
True.
Okay, I'll let Arby heal.
No, that'll work.
And I'll get that will.
Think so. Touches his square.
Okay.
Hang on, let's see. I think there's a way. Nowhere. Put it like down here. No. Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, you can get him.
I'm gonna go ahead and let Arby do it anyway, though.
Okay.
Because Sefka's unconscious and Arby can still fight.
Sounds good.
As much as I would like to help Sefka.
Sounds good. That's a con save?
Yes.
Save. Con. This thing's got a +2. Blue succeeds. Red also succeeds.
Okay, they both take 3. Unless they're immune or resistant to necrotic.
They have no such thing.
Fantastic.
Anything else for Aura?
Yeah, I'm squishy, so that's my turn.
Alright.
Fantastic.
Red Owlbear is going to climb up the tree a little bit, Jade, and is going to try to grapple.
Yeah. Yeah. That tracks. That
I
tracks.
need you to give me either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. I'm better at acrobatics. Acrobatics it is. Ugh. 10.
Yes, this thing got a 17. So
Yeah.
you are grappled.
Yeah.
And it is going to grab you and take you down on the tree and bring you down to the ground.
Hello.
But that's about all it can do. That would be its action on its turn.
Thank you for helping me out of the tree.
Morwen looks at you, Jade, and she says, "Perhaps you will be food next. I wonder if it enjoys food cooked." And points at you. Jade, what kind of armor are you wearing?
I have scale mail. Wait, let me double check that. Inventory. I believe it is scale. Yes, it is scale mail. It's leather covered with overlapping pieces of metal. So there is metal on top of leather.
Okay. Jade Moore would cast heat metal on your armor.
Yep.
You are going to take.
There's trauma from this. That happened to me before.
7 points of fire damage.
Got it?
Um. Let's see. Silver object. Let's see. Drop it. Okay. So, at the start of your turn, you're going to need to make Constitution saving throws to see if you can withstand the heat.
Okay.
On a failed con save, you will have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what else we got. I think that's all she's going to do on her turn. This other blue owlbear is going to take a step up towards you, Professor. Jay, didn't you had a held action?
Oh, I did have a held action. It was going to be Word of Radiance on her.
Okay. Give me that.
Okay. Thank you for remembering, because I didn't. She needs to make me a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. It's a natural 20.
Yeah, nothing happens to her.
Blue Owlbear is going to step up to Professor and is going to make 3 attacks.
Oof.
Both of its heads are going to try to beak you, and then it's going to try to claw you.
Okay.
First attack is a 26 to hit.
That hits.
That is 12 piercing.
Okay.
Oof.
The second attack is a 17 to hit.
That'll miss.
The third is a dirty 20.
That also hits.
So these are the claws. Fine. Claws will deal 14 slashing.
Oof.
My thing was, hold on, 6 minus 12. Oh yeah, he's down.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow, really?
Already?
Ow.
I have 26 hit points.
How?
That can't
Ow.
be
Are
right.
you only wizard?
Pure
No,
cleric.
actually, hold on. Yeah. Let me double check because I messed it. No,
I
yeah,
have
that's
24 with a 0 con.
Holy shit. The liability insurance.
Are you taking max hit
Yep.
points?
Oh. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
I made some questionable choices. I'm owning it.
It's okay. We'll save you. We'll save you.
All right. Yuki, you're up. I know we're past 11 o'clock, so we'll get through this round and see how everyone feels.
Okay. Seeing the professor drop and Jade grappled right now, she is going to hop down out of the tree. And if that's an issue, I can use slow fall or do a thing.
No, you're fine.
I don't know.
You're only like 10 feet up. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell you what, just
She.
give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Okay, so she's gonna jump out of the tree. She's gonna go boop boop over to this owlbear, and we're gonna try to do some strikes, do some stuff, some murder mitts on this guy.
I will clarify that the owlbear let go of Jade once it got her on the ground.
Yeah, it basically grabbed me and then jumped out of the tree and threw me on the ground.
Yeah.
Didn't it try to bite you or something?
No, the other owlbear was attacking the professor the whole time. All the one that's next to me could do was grab me and bring me down.
It used its action
It used
to grapple.
its action to grapple.
Oh, so it's gonna bite you the next time.
Maybe.
Possible.
Not
Very
taking
possible.
Not taking that fucking chance. We're gonna murder met his ass.
Go for it.
And I'm using regular dice because fuck you. Digital dice. That is unfortunately only a 12.
A 12 miss.
Yeah. Come on, Yuki dice.
Claws are
Don't be
unable
a
to break its tough hide.
That's a 17 plus 6.
That hits.
Okay.
For 10 slashing.
That is a 18.
18 hits.
Okay.
Another 8. Was that your flurry of blows?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Just don't forget to take off your key point for that.
I will not forget.
So you still have movement available to you. Use action.
Yeah. Oof. I think. We're gonna come around here to maybe be a little bit of a distraction. These owlbears so they don't attack Jade or keep beating the professor. And that'll be it.
Alrighty. Red.
Just with a cursory glance, can Ren tell if Stepka is in any immediate danger?
I would say you'd be able to tell he's not in any immediate danger at the moment.
Alrighty, then he's gonna aim for the blue guard beast again and try his thorn whip again, but man, he's gonna be annoyed if it doesn't work.
Sure.
I'm really annoyed that it... Oh, no wait, that's a 15. Okay, we're better than I thought I was.
15 is a hit.
Yes. 2 points.
Alright. Do
Alright, end turn.
you want to pull it?
I want that thing closer to me. I already got one right in my face. I need a second one.
Fair enough. It is going to get closer. It is going to gang up on Arby. It is going to make a bite attack. It's a natural 20.
Yep.
Ow! Thank goodness it was Arby that took it.
Like always.
So that is 17 points of piercing. And I need a strength saving throw.
Okie dokie. That is an 18.
Also not knocked prone. I saw a request to go around one more time because Narco had some stuff she wanted to do. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I can do
I'm
one
good.
more.
All right, you want to do another round?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Jade, you're up. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, as your armor is burning on your body.
18.
18 saves against the DC, so you will not have disadvantage.
Do I take any more
No,
damage?
not at this time.
Oh. Oh, cool. Okay. We can't have multiple people having issues. From the ground, as I reach out, I grab the professor's hand, and I give him a cure wounds. That is a 8 plus 5. That's 12 points of healing damage that gets lobbed at you, Professor, as Jade will use the half her movement to stand up over you protectively. And
You weren't prone.
oh, it didn't. I thought I was. I'm sorry.
No,
So
You were not prone.
I'll be crouched over the professor protectively as I heal him.
All right.
Ready to run at a moment's notice. And she's just going to keep trying to talk to Morrowind, and she's going just again trying to the same thing Professor did and say, "We're not here to hurt you. We don't want to hurt anyone. We just need to get back home. We know you're trying to help your grove." And as I'm talking to her, can I make any sort of check on the tree?
Sure. What are you looking for?
This thing was bleeding from Yuki, and she said it was feeding on Sepka. That's not normal tree behavior. So, and in her journal, she said she found the seeds within the Book of Creation. So, and before that, the journal entry seemed like she was just concerned about her grove. And after that journal entry, it was very much like, my baby, and I'm assuming this is her baby unless she's got a baby somewhere, but it doesn't seem like it. She needs nourishment for her baby needs to grow. Can I make any kind of check to see if this tree has some sort of influence over Morrowind? Like, is it living in a way that's beyond what a tree should be alive?
I mean, you can give me an insight check, but I'm not sure a skill check is really going to be enough to glean as much as
Okay.
you're looking for.
That's completely valid. I will make an insight check just to see if I can have. If not, I'll do weaknesses of the tree other than
I
just
will
the fact that it's a tree.
say either then insight or arcana.
Oh, okay. I'll do Arcana. Let's see if my Arcana knows anything about magic trees that eat people. So if it's Arcana, it's going to be a 17. My insight is better, but I feel like I'll get better information from Arcana.
On a 17, Papa has told you stories about trees that are kind of alive, not quite to the point of like overt sentience, but living in the fact that they do feed off of other things. He told you a story about something called a Gulphius tree,
Bolthius tree.
which basically feeds off of living things, and yeah, it is itself a living thing other than, being a tree, obviously. but is more than like just a tree. It's kind of like a blighted growth.
I believe that was quite a lot for my turn, so I thank you for that. That'll be it for me.
You still have movement and bonus action available to you.
I'm not going to move because I don't want to leave the professor and Yuki. And what bonus actions do I have that might be helpful? I can't do anything at the moment, so that'll be my turn.
All right. Professor, you have been revived and are prone.
He staggers to his feet with this sort of panic-stricken look on his face, and his hands are shaking, eyes wide, not really sure what to do. And before he even realizes what's happening, it's almost disembodied voice escapes his mouth as he starts to recite what sounds like a spell in an alien tongue. And to everyone who hears it, would know that it's not unlike the other times he's casted Void Rift in the past. His voice gets louder, and the somatic movements of his hands appear to reach a crescendo, and he sort of shakes his head and drops his hands to his side, his face turning to anger. He's, no, not that. Not now. I am not powerless. I am Kitsune, and we fight with our spirits. We are capable of unimaginable strength, and I have power, and not an ounce of it is from a book. And he says, as he says this, his eyes flash white as these sort of golden flames erupt around his body, and his third tail kind of materializes with the other two, and this fire almost leaps off of his body and shifts, fluttering, flickering as it forms into a shape of a three-tailed fox. And this fox is kind of connected by this golden string to his heart. And then he'll just point at the owlbear, the blue owlbear. And this fox just lays into it with a bite. With radiant damage.
Very nice.
And that's it for my turn.
15 will hit, and it's 4 points of radiant. Okay. Naruko, let's get fucky.
We are going to get fucky. Naruko is looking over Sepka, really wants to get him up and running, knows that she needs some sort of magic that can dispel things. Starts looking him over to see if there's anything else that she can do. At which point Neville asks Joe if Sepka indeed has all of his inventory that he did. You may recall that Sepka had a habit of working with Temerity to acquire a lot of spell scrolls. So if Naruko is allowed to dive into his little collection here, he has not one but 2 scrolls of dispel magic that she will want to take and make use of, if that is allowed.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Dispel magic is on the artificer list, so she has the ability to use it. She is going to pull it out, say, I really hope this works, and it's going to cast dispel magic on Sepka's sleep.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, would you like to describe what happens when when Sepka... I mean, Kaiser Soze name together. Would you like to describe how Sepka awakens from this magical sleep?
So Naruko takes out the scroll. It's, of course, because it's fucking Sepka, it's written on, like, old-ass papyrus. The spell itself is in the usual arcane language for usage, but it has many hieroglyphics along the edges for decoration. She very quickly takes it, speed reads it, goes through the somatic components, and the scroll proceeds to shatter into a cloud of golden dust that rushes forward across Sepka, lays itself across him, and as it sort of like gets absorbed into his body, his eyes open up, and immediately they flash with a golden light. As he is now conscious, he gets his paladin aura back up. And question for Joe: under what circumstances were like Sepka's last waking moments before whatever happened to him happened?
So what he remembers was Morwen had led him into the library, which was, if you remember, it was the Haven of the Red Quill. Inside this library, she had led him to where a point where she had voiced some concern about the forest not growing properly, and she led him to a corner where there were a bunch of roots and stuff kind of hanging down into the library itself. And as Sepka got closer to inspect, the roots kind of entangled him, and the magical sleep spell began to take hold as it like kind of sucked Sepka up into its trunk and kind of grew around him and where you left him, and that's where we saw him kind of suspended.
Sepka, as his eyes open, you hear this sort of growl from his throat as he says, "That was most unwise, Morwen." He doesn't get to have his turn just yet, but we'll get to that.
And you were worried about Z joining them in the fucking glade. Hilarious!
To be fair, had to get a little fucky to pull that one off, so. Alright, Mariko, that was her action. Bonus action, Arby is going to not attack, actually. He's going to use his action to self-repair. And he will restore himself 2d8 plus 2 hit points. For a total of 14.
Alright.
And that will do.
Alrighty. Our red beast is going to continue the assault on Arby. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
That is a total of 10 piercing.
And strength saving throw.
And a strength save.
Alrighty. That is a 14.
Still good. That was that one. Sepka.
Sepka stands up. See some odd faces around here. But can pretty quickly tell that the things with base tentacles are probably the problem. Although Ren, he get good vibes from Ren. Ren's spiritual.
Oh no! Shit.
What?
Rocket just walked across my keyboard and took me out of roll 20. Alright, come on, bud. Down you go.
Yeah, I think Sepka would look to Ren and say, I am Sepka, God Pharaoh Reborn. See, are you here to put an end to whatever is corrupting this forest?
I am Ren. I bring balance for Thanatos.
He kind of like looks at you for a bit. It's like Thanatos. Oh, right, Anubis. New names. Yeah, no, I know that guy. Okay, yeah, you're cool. Follow me. And then he's gonna move forward.
And
do. I have a lot of spells with Sepka. and I don't think he's gonna fuck around today. Let me just see here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I need the guard beasts, both of them, and both of the owlbears to make me, I believe it's a charisma saving throw. DC 23.
Yeah, this will go well. Let's see. So these guard things have a -2, so I don't think that's even possible for them to make it. Nope,
Cool.
they certainly don't. The owlbears also have a -2. So no.
Cool. Let me just check here. I think yeah, so that is a 7th level banishment that goes off.
Oh no! Pop. Pop.
Bye!
Pop. Pop.
Literally, Sepka just woke up, looked to Red and said, "You cool?" Red said yes. Sepka just walked forward. He did not even break stride. He just snapped his fingers, and all of those creatures just... A golden doorway appeared beneath them. 1,000 spectral hands reached out, pulled them through, and they are gone.
Oh,
So that's my action.
Lord.
That's his movement. What do you have for bonus action, Sepka? I never got to play you with this build.
This might be pretty quick, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Sepka will just move forward and address Morwen. Say, Morwen, that tree, that seed, is not going to bring your forest back. It only wishes to feed itself. It will take from everything around it until there is nothing left. Come to your senses, please. Do not force me to make you.
Morwood looks around. She looks very, very panicked now that Maliki's beasts are gone. She looks to the tree and she looks back to you and she says, "No, it will bring back the forest. We will restore the grove. The voice told me it will. I need to give it food. It needs nourishment. Don't take
Disregard the voice. Look with your own eyes. Feel with the sense that you have as the protector of this wood."
Well, we can see what she does with that on her turn.
Cool. For those of you in Sepka's aura, he reclassed from Warlock to Paladin Sorcerer, so everyone gets a +5 to your saving throws. You have advantage against... well, you're actually immune to being charmed. And... I think that's about it. Yeah.
Alright. Aura.
Well, there's no threat anymore. Unless the druid wants to get fucky. I'll move forward, but I'm going to maintain a cautious distance. That's it.
Alright. Mormon looks around. She sees you're up. She knows how dangerous you are, Sepka. She looks at her tree with the empty space where you were once held. She touches the tree briefly and she says, "I'm sorry, I can't stay." And she's going to run. Over here, you see she puts her hand on this tree here. She's going to begin to cast a spell. I don't know if Sepka has any counter spell abilities that he wants to try.
Oh, he definitely has that. Give me a second. Yeah, actually, in his he has 3 scrolls of counterspell on his person.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll throw one of those out.
Okay. So this is a 5th level spell that she's attempting to cast. So
Okay.
if it's a standard counter spell, then I need him to make a ability check.
Okay. The DC is 10 plus spell level. So
It's a 5th level that we have. So
cool. He rolled a base 11, but with plus 5 charisma, that'll be a 16.
she goes to touch the tree to try to cast Tree Stride to get the fuck out. Sepka's counter spell takes hold. I'm getting big Witchlight memories from this and Plane Shift. She tries to touch the tree to cast Tree Stride to get away, but Sepka's counter spell goes off, and the spell fizzles out. And she looks around panicked. She says, "No, no, please." She will drop the concentration on heat metal. Jade, your armor is no longer glowing. And
Great.
she will just fall to her knees. Effectively giving her the prone condition. Yuki, do you want to do anything?
I think I will hold an action. I'll hold some murder mitts. If she tries to cast a spell or tries to run away.
Alright. Red?
Ren saw his idiot get hurt, and it seems like the danger is slightly out of the way, so...
His idiot! Such terms of endearment.
How is it you always get yourself into these situations? It is most irresponsible.
It's not like I walked up there and asked them to bite me.
Take 11 points back for healing, and end turn.
Alright. So I will say at the top of the round, everyone, thank you for holding on. I know we're running late tonight. At the top of the round, I will say that Morwyn is more or less defeated. She, with Sepka up and conscious and able to do shit, she knows she's basically stuck and is unable to kind of move forward. Sepka, keeping concentration on your banishment spell for a minute, these beasts that you have banished will not return.
Okay. I mean, if they did, Sepka would deal with them the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be fine. I know what Sepka would do next, which would be to walk up to Morwyn and then cast Greater Restoration on her. Hey, is she under any sort of heavy charm compulsion effect or curse? Because that'll take care of that.
So, no curse or charm. I will take us out of initiative, though, because Morwyn is not going to fight back at this point. The Greater Restoration doesn't seem to change her temperament. She just kind of, like, curls up into a ball, and she's just muttering about how she's afraid that now her baby will die.